Alrighty, guys. Good evening. Happy fucking Sunmun. Hope you guys are a wonderful evening so far, guys. Today we're gonna be doing more of the BF6s. Good. Yeah, my life is literally going to shit right now, guys. So more of the same. World's changing in a lot of different ways. It's like the first year in which second year in which crypto has just went to complete shit. It's like slid downhill. It's like the simulation forgot to actually update it and it just died. It just fucking died. Crazy shit. I don't know. Good time to try Deadlock. I don't know. Like, I'm not really a fan of games where you have to CS. I really fucking hate it. It's one of the reasons I like HOTS so much. And Deadlock, you 100% need a CS, and CS is very boring. We've had this talk before. I find it mind-numbing, as opposed to picking engagements of what you're doing in the fight and exuding pressure. You have to sit there and click a button on an NPC. Absolutely hate it. I've thought about playing it too. I don't know. I don't really have much time right now, and like the serotonin and dopamine I get out of gaming right now is actually very minimal compared to what it used to be. Mainly because I have so much other shit going on in my life right now that kind of sucks, that it just kind of, it's just the same bland slurry of shit. This feels meh. So, it's hard to enjoy something when you have a bunch of bad things going on. You did? I'm sorry to hear that. I thought, based on what it was doing last year, I did not expect it to regress and basically have. So, we're basically back to where we were in 24, which is insane. Like it feels like it's almost done in tandem just to put the squeeze to my nuts, to be perfectly honest. I swear it's done to fucking just squeeze my testicles. I do too, but the world is clearly changing right now, and it actually just feels an awful lot like I just need to fucking hang on and not die, is kind of the way things are going right now. That is the eventuality, is just not dying, I guess. And be a growing bar. As it goes, but I don't come online to bitch. That's not why I'm here. I don't like pity parties. It's tough not to mention it though. Really feels a lot of stuff. Like I mentioned before, guys. There's a lot of, you just see the gaming half of things, but there's a lot of shit that goes wrong in my life, and it's gotten worse in the last 2 years, especially this year. Last 8 months or so. Last year, I would say, it's just gotten much worse. Why is it the last day? Because tomorrow I'll be playing WoW, and I'm not really interested in coming back to BF6. So, WoW launches tomorrow, and we'll be playing WoW as it goes. Wow. You're gonna stream WoW? Of course I am. I don't plan on playing keys. Last expansion pack, almost every single expansion pack for the last 14 years I've streamed, I have streamed live. And I once again, because I have so little drive in my life right now to play video games, because everything's going to shit and it's very hard to enjoy stuff. Putting aside the games themselves, usually have weirdos following me around, which makes it even less enjoyable. My desire to play games right now is at basically an all-time low. So I don't play games off stream. I play games on stream, and I have a couple hours. So, yeah, it was a year and a half ago. This is actually the fastest launching expansion pack of WoW. They developed it in a year and a half, which is pretty insane. It actually, like all things considered, it actually looks relatively good. Like, it's supposed to be a good expansion pack. I just don't have any drive for it right now. Life literally sucked all the life out of me, all the motivation, all the intrigue. the energy I've had has literally just been sucked dry by life. Like, it feels like they just put like a fucking siphon on me and just go like that's what it feels like. And then they like tweak things so it makes it a little bit worse for me, and then they suck a little bit more of the bad juju out of me, like it powers something. And I'm just out of shits to give. I don't have any shits left. They're all gone. And playing games in that state doesn't really make me feel like I don't get serotonin and dopamine out of it for the most part. So, like, WoW itself requires a couple hours of gameplay. Like, I only stream usually 2 to 3 hours now per night because there's really no point in me streaming longer. Another thing in my life that just never worked out. Despite me streaming much more hours, it doesn't feel like there's a point to doing it, so I don't really... I do it because I like playing games, and that's pretty much it. So, in World of Warcraft, if we do keys, it takes a substantial amount of time. I can't come on for 2 to 3 hours and play keys. It's just like we wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, maybe I could. It's just... I don't even feel like I want to do that for 2 to 3 hours. You kind of have to grind at it. So. But yes, we'll be streaming WoW. And then after WoW, I'm probably going to level up. Maybe we'll do some Key Zeros or just a Mythic. Basically the first level. It's probably where we'll stop. Maybe we'll do that just to get a feel for it. Usually they're relatively easy. We'll see. Last expansion pack, I think we got basically all of our keys up to 10, and I think the highest I did was 13 at the beginning of it. I played WoW at the last expansion pack for, I think, about a month and a half before I was done with it. This one, I suspect, we'll just be doing leveling and such. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to stream in the future. This is getting to that point where it's part of my life I can't include anymore. So much shit going wrong. Right. It's funny, I've been streaming for 14 years, guys, and this is basically the first year where things have gotten kind of... Usually maybe I'd take, like, maybe 2 days off per month or so, 3 days off, and now I've just... going all over the place. Let's do the daily restart. Yeah, that's something. Lots of weird shit going on in the world, guys. It's not just you. It's like, you can tell, it's like, it's everyone. It's in every different industry. It's all over the place. Everyone in all different sorts of walks of life. It's not just the war in Iran right now. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I think it's the world retooling for disclosure. So, basically talking about aliens and NHI, UAPs. Perhaps we're going to join Alien Society, but we're in a... Feels like things are kind of going to shit right now. They are going to shit. I was in the store. I went shopping the other day, guys, and I was looking at... Putting aside soda is fucking expensive as shit now. It's much cheaper buying K-Cups than it is buying soda now. Despite it being sugar water, Pepsi and Coke literally put the screws to, like, the low-income folks buying their product. They don't care. That's insane. Like 50 cents a can of soda. Crazy shit. But I was in the store, and I was looking at candy, because I usually buy some candy, right? And I was looking at trolley, like a bag of trolleys, like fucking $4. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was in the candy aisle. Yeah, by the way, the candy aisle is a debate. If you go into the candy aisle, instead of at the cash registers, the candy aisle has bigger bags, so they force you to spend more. Even though it seems like a good idea, it's not. They intentionally just, it's a debate to make you spend more money. If you go to the cash registers, you can buy little bags of candy, even though they're more expensive per ounce. You don't need a fucking 5-pound bag of trolleys. Or I don't, at least. Maybe you do. I just want a little bag, and then I want to be done with it. It's fucking in the candy aisle, holy shit. This is the candy aisle trolleys. I was looking at them like I usually buy a couple of trolleys I really like. I look at the bag of trolleys, and like either they increase the amount of trolleys so they're more expensive, or they increase the price, or both. And it was literally like $4 for a bag of trolleys. Like, what the fuck is? It's like a meal. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know what the fuck people think they're doing, like candy manufacturers think they're doing, but holy shit. Another weird thing, guys. Kind of a weird story here. Over the years, I've noticed something weird with the lettuce, because I buy lettuce when I go to the store. I buy veggies, right? Lettuce doesn't keep that long. One of the weird things I've noticed, and especially the last time I just went, and I put two and two together, it's really fucking weird, is the lettuce with the date that's later expires sooner. Like, there's expiration dates on the lettuce, right? And lettuce, especially cut-up lettuce, expires very fast, right? So it has a very short shelf life. So what you do when you go to the store is you look through the lettuce packages and you buy the ones with the later date. But I was at the store, and I did it, and I was looking at it, I was like, this lettuce looks kind of shitty. When I was looking at it, it looks like it was about to spoil. And I bought it, even though it had 2 dates, like it was 2 days longer, expiration-wise, it was 2 days longer than the other lettuce, the same company, other lettuce, and I took it home and it's already spoiling. And I was like, holy shit, like the lettuce that they have packaged for later expiration dates, like, spoils sooner. But how would that even be a thing? Why would it be a thing? Walmart obviously has incentive to make packages of lettuce, last to go through the older stock first. But they can't relabel it in the store, right? Not only is it illegal, they don't have the means to do it. They aren't like covering up a label. There's like literally a printed expiration date on the package, so Walmart can't relabel it. But it clearly expires sooner than the lettuce that has a sooner expiration date, which doesn't make sense. And you think about the company making it, but they're all just packaging and spitting it out, so that doesn't even make sense. So why am I getting lettuce that expires sooner with a later date on it? And this isn't the first time it's happened. I just never really, I haven't really been big into conspiracy theories up until maybe the last year, basically when everything started going to shit. In the last year, when all the fucking Mandela effects people are talking about now too, and just Jim Carrey having a different face, which isn't the only guy, by the way. They also talked about Epstein having a different face, and Ghislaine, his accomplice, also having a different face, which they do if you look at the comparison photos. They do. I mean, it's packaged. It's when they're packaged and set to expire. There's no way that an expiration date should be expiring sooner with a later expiration date. Like lettuce, like I said, has a short shelf life. It's like, I don't know, maybe it depends on when it's packaged, but it's like maybe a week. And once you open it, it goes to shit really fast. And I got it, like I was looking at the packages when they're on the shelf, and there's a couple that were on the 7th, right? And I was looking at them, and they get, like, lettuce has this weird coloration that happens, right? It turns brown. But inside the package, it, like, gets gooey before you open it. It, like, gets this, like, sludge on it. And I was looking at the package when I was in the store. I was like, this doesn't look that good, despite it having 2 extra days on it. Even though there's a couple of them, and they all look the same. Like, they all look like they're about to expire. I was like, this is fucking weird. And I bought it anyways, because, like, maybe I'm just wrong. And then, like, the next day I looked at it, and it's already going to shit. Like, it gets gooey and nasty and brown. Not just brown, like, it actually just, like, it, like, turns to gel. It's really fucking weird how lettuce works when it expires. But I was looking at it in the fridge, and it's like, it was already spoiling. And I was like, that's not fucking right. I just bought the shit. But, like, there's no way for them to change the dates. There's no incentive for the company packaging the lettuce to change the dates on it. Like, let's say they have their own internal stock, so then they label the stuff that's going to spoil sooner as a later date, but they have no incentive to do that. They just label it all the same, right? They have no incentive to do that unless they have, like, an agreement with Walmart to do that, so they can move the stock through faster. That's the only thing I can think of, is they actually have an agreement with Walmart to, like, have grades of lettuce and then grade the worst lettuce as a later expiration date to get consumers to buy it, so it cycles through their shelves faster, right? Because most people like me will look for lettuce with a later expiration date. Just like with milk or any product that spoils relatively soon, you look for the later expiration date. Eggs. So you go through there and you look at the package and you see what expires later. It's been a thing for decades. People have done that for a long time. But this is like, just this year is like, it's not the first time I've seen it either. Like, I've literally seen packages. They get, inside the package, it looks like it has, put inside it gets brown and like, gooey looking. The package itself also has, like, condensation on it, is usually the way it happens. Like, the package will have, like, what looks like condensation on the outside because it's been sitting for a while, and, like, the moisture, like, wicks out of the lettuce or something and causes it to I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely noticed the condensation in the packages as lettuce goes bad prior to you opening it. But it was really fucking weird. And I don't understand how it's even possible for you to have, like, let's imagine a case where they have stock, which they want to sell the lettuce that expires first, right? So if they want to sell the lettuce that will expire sooner, you'd put a later expiration date on it because consumers would pick it up. But there's no way to know that. Like, rotating shelves, rotating stock is normal for companies. They do it all the time to make sure that old stock gets basically sold, right? But you can't do it with a package that has a date on it. Like, you can't change the date on the package. It would be an involved process for Walmart to change the date on a package. It's not a sticker. It's actually just it's printed on with the thermal jet or whatever it's called at the when they first package it. It's not something where it's a sticker on the package, so they can't overwrite it. Like, at the store, they can't change it. There's incentive for them to do it, but they can't do it. Putting aside it's illegal to do it. They can't change the expiration date. So how is it happening? I've heard of that before. That is... we've talked about that so many fucking times. It's just, the conspiracy theories, guys, are just off the charts. I am very certain that Battlefield 6 is vibe coded by aliens. Why by aliens? Because the development for Battlefield 6 predates vibe coding by years. But what you'll notice is just the track record. DICE is a company that has made game engines for decades. For fucking decades, right? How can't they fix the audio in the game? How the fuck can't they fix the aim punch for high sensitivity, which I have problems with? How they have so many weird bugs in the game that any novice like coders could fix unless it's being made by AI. And another one that you're just mentioning is how the game lobbies are constructed. Normally in a matchmaker, they will backfill lobbies, right, to make sure they fill. In Battlefield 6, they don't. They have a set interval that they spawn the lobbies. So you don't get put into a backfill lobby unless you are at the start screen and you click join. And sometimes you'll just get put into a new lobby anyways. At night, I can cycle through dozens of lobbies that are half full of bots, and there's more than enough to fill up a lobby, but they don't. They just continually make new lobbies. And once again, if the AI doesn't understand that, like, how to fix the problem, you're kind of fucked, as it goes with vibe coding. And assumedly in the future, you'd cross-reference different models to fix the problems that another model can't fix, right? Assuming that's what you'd do. You'd utilize multiple models to basically fill in the gaps or the strengths and weaknesses of another model, right? In the case of Battlefield 6, though, there are so many weird bugs that a game company should be able to fix it. They 100% should be able to fix the bugs in Battlefield 6, and they can't. The audio being a glaring problem, the netcode being another glaring problem with the game. They've been making game engines for decades, guys. This isn't a company like Behavior for Dead by Daylight. They literally make the game engine for the game, like Epic does for Fortnite. Why can't they fix the weird bugs in the game? I don't know. It's not even like I said. It's been a pain point. I've mentioned this since the game launched because there's been problems with. There have been problems with basically seeing bots late night, even early on, like the first week of the game. You see bots in the lobbies because it would start them with them, and they never fixed it. They actually made it worse because then they started the lobbies sooner with more bots, and it doesn't backfill properly. Which means that people see the game full of bots, they think the game's dead, and they quit. It's like a standard. And the only way they possibly would want that to happen in their game is if they can't fix it. They are unable to fix the problems with their game. And do tell me, how is a game company that has built game engines for decades unable to fix the bugs in their game engine? I don't know. And like I said, there's so much weird shit that's going on in life, guys. I was just talking about the lettuce conspiracy, the lettuce expiration date conspiracy, because there's no way for Walmart to change the date. There's no incentive for the manufacturers to have lettuce that spoils sooner and label it later. And the only way you potentially want to do that is because produce is very expensive, right? It's one of the most expensive things. That's why a lot of fast food companies don't actually put produce on their shit, is because it spoils. But if you had a conspiracy where we're living in a simulation, it's not a simulation as in a digital format, but a simulation as in a controlled environment like the Truman Show, right? So not something like the Matrix as much as something more like the Truman Show where, parts of it are maybe changed, but they still have physical objects because you need to interact with it, right? In the case of Walmart, there is incentive because it still costs them money. The Truman Show still, running the Truman Show still costs money. There's incentive for them to recycle older produce and make sure that the humans or the participants inside the simulation eat it sooner, right? And that's the only possible way with technology that doesn't normally exist for companies, or they don't care. Walmart, can't change expiration dates, and they also can't. They don't have the means to change thermal labeling. I forgot what it's called. Thermal labeling. They don't have the means to change the expiration date on the package of lettuce. So why would the lettuce that expires 2 days later expire sooner than lettuce that has an earlier expiration date? I've noticed this for a couple years at this point, by the way, but this is the first time I've actually really thought about it when I was upstairs when I was putting together food, and I was looking at the lettuce in the package, and I was like, holy shit, why is it already spoiled? It's supposed to spoil in 5 days. It's already spoiling. Yeah, it's supposed to be the 7th, and the other lettuce that I looked at was on the 5th, and it's already spoiling. And I was like, this has actually happened in the past. Why is it happening right now? I was trying to figure it out too, because I was like, there's no way Walmart could do it. There's no incentive for the manufacturer to do it, and which actually makes the packaging that could do it. And all that leaves is the conspiracy theory that something is able to change it after I leave the store. Like the store itself is rigged. Also, another weird thing when I went shopping, guys, I have this weird. It's weird, honestly, how my stream is not taking off. Because I have really, I don't know what better way to describe it, guys, but a lot of people pay attention to me. I am oddly observant of people around me and the stuff that just happens. I told you guys about, I was at a tool store 2 weeks ago, and the clerk kept trying to convince me that I was popular and I didn't know it. And it's so fucking weird. It was one of these really weird interactions at Harbor Freight. And I was like, okay. I thought it was funny because it's my name, right? Haha, one of those things. But a couple days ago, when I went shopping at Walmart, I was there. It was around 11 p.m. It was not 11. It was 10:15 p.m. This is weird as shit. So I'm going through the store. The self-checkout lanes have nothing in it. And I was going through the store, picking up my shit. I was thinking about how much money I'm spending and how I don't have any money and I can't actually spend money, but I have to spend money because I have to eat food to stay alive. And I was driving, and also the lettuce conspiracy. I was driving my cart around the store. No one's in the self-checkout lanes. I went over and I got some toothpaste and mouthwash and shit, right? I was like, whatever, And I was about to leave. I was in the store for maybe an hour. I was about to leave with my cart full of shit. And when I went to the self-checkout lanes, guys, I swear to fucking God, everyone in the fucking store converged on the self-checkout lanes. This is 10 at night. There's no one there. It's not even closing, so you're like, oh, people are going to the self-checkout lane because there's no one there, right? I said, the weirdest fucking shit happens to me. I was just going over the self-checkout lane. Earlier, there's no one there. When I walked in the store, there's no one there. Besides a couple people checking out. And I went over past it, it's just whatever, 10 p.m. at night. There's just no one there. It's just the way things are, right? I go over and, I go to get the toothpaste and whatever, and then I come back. Every fucking person in that goddamn store converged on the. Even the clerk that was watching over the self-checkout was like, wow, the school arrived or something. There was a line at the self-checkout at 10 at night. People showed up before I went through the self-checkout, and there was a line after I went out the self-checkout. And the weirdest fucking thing about all this is right when I finished checking out all my shit, right as I fit the last item, I was printing my receipt and crying about the money I just spent, everyone was gone. Right as I pulled out from the self-checkout, the entire group of people, it was like a zoo showing up to watch me. It was so fucking weird. Right as I was walking out, right as I finished my last item, I looked around, and all the people were gone. The last guy was just walking out of the store with me. Even though Walmart's open till 11 and people were still walking in because it's late now, some people do it, right? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like everyone showed up to watch me like I'm in the zoo or be near me. And then the moment I left, everyone else just left too. It was so fucking random. Like I said, I have so much shit in my life, guys, I can't really tell you about because I don't want to dox myself. But there is so much weird shit that goes on around me. And it's weirder because my stream doesn't take off, but I have shit like this that happens in real life. It's like people notice me, but then maybe my stream's taboo. Maybe because of the stuff I talk out on my stream, the NHI AI can't show up to my stream because I'll corrupt them or something. I don't know, guys. Because I do talk about really weird shit here, right? Not weird as in a bad way, but just like it is outside the ordinary and it makes you think about the shit that happens around you. But that was so weird, and it's the same night as the lettuce conspiracy. I don't, and it's not the first time it's happened, but that's probably the most I've ever seen it happen, was right when I went to the checkout. It was a horde of people, like maybe, I don't know, like 20 people, I want to say, 25 people, at 10 p.m. at night. There were people in front of me, I had to wait like a couple minute or two, and there were people behind me. It just, all they just showed up. It's like, if you watch Plurbius, right, Lid? You watch Plurbius, it was like that. It was like, hello, Carol, one of those things, only they just showed up and they couldn't interact with me. So, like, it wasn't like they're trying to interact with me, but it's like they wanted to be around with me. And the weirdest shit is, like, for the last couple months in World of Warcraft, like, I have people that just kind of show up and just, like, they linger. They just, not in a bad way, it's just like they want to be near me. It was so weird. It was so weird. It was so random and so weird. And once again, I'm not faulting any of them. It felt like Plurbius, where you have the AI hive mind showing up to just interact with you. It is so random. It is so random. But they must have some sort of directive where they can't talk to me or something, or maybe they aren't supposed to interact with me. But they clearly were I don't know what better way to describe it. It was so coincidental. It was so coincidental that it was happening that, along with the lettuce conspiracy. That I don't have what do you I can't do anything with it. I don't know what's going on. I can't act on it. I don't have anything other besides looking at. I'm very good at noticing trends, stats, and being observant of stuff around me. It's to a fault. Arguably, it's probably it's maybe been detrimental to my life at certain times too. And it is weird. Also, when I drive. When I go out to drive, if I have to go somewhere, fucking cars just show up for miles. I don't really live on a super. It's semi congested, right? But the moment I go out, it's there's cars in front of me, there's cars behind me, there's cars driving all around me, and then nothing, just nothing at all. I don't it's like I said, it's like the AI and the simulation just show up to kind of be around you because they think you're cool or something, but they can't interact with you. It is so fucking weird. It is so fucking weird. And, I don't understand if I'm a main protagonist in a Truman Show, tinfoil hat shit here, why the fuck is my life so shit? I don't understand. Nothing in my life is, I talked about this the other night, guys. I have a plan B for a plan C. I have had so many plans in my life, guys, and none of them worked out. All of them just, it's a test or something, but it just never ends. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse till I've reached the point I'm currently at right now, which is, it's pretty miserable. Where I am right now was possibly where I was maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little 12 years ago. Only it's worse now because I don't really have any options. I'm going to end up working at a fucking Taco Bell or something at this point. And my life skills, things I've developed over time really don't translate. And there's it's not applicable to a job market. That being said, everyone's going to be unemployed, or 80% of the population is going to be unemployed in a year or two anyways, but because AI and robotics. But it's fucking weird. I don't understand it. Like I said, you think if people want to be around me, they'd watch my stream. But I have almost no one that watches my stream. So I'd say the only people that do watch my stream are actual humans. So maybe we're part of a simulation with NHI AI, which I've talked about before, but they aren't allowed to actually help me do well or something, to the point at which it's just ruined my life. I don't fucking know. It is so weird. Yeah, Foundation, fantastic series, by the way. It has a bit of agenda in it, but compared to a lot of shows nowadays, it could be a lot worse than it is. And that's grain of salt with that. It's so fucking weird, though. I like the other night when I was shopping, I was just like, I was tootling around, whatever. I just kind of pay attention to shit happening around me. There's people walking around, whatnot. Occasionally you get looks from people, whatever. It's just kind of the way things are. Drove past and went past the self checkout lanes a couple different times when I was walking through the store. Went to get toothpaste and mouthwash, toothpaste and mouthwash, and went back to the self checkout lane. Literally, the entire fucking store that was there converged on the self checkout lanes at exactly the same time. And like I said, even the clerk who, like, they have like the person that overwatches the self checkout lane. She's like, "Wow, the school arrived." Like she even noticed because they don't have that many people in the store at like 10 p.m. and everyone showed up in the self checkout line. Why? No, it's like if you can imagine like a diverse group of just randos in Wisconsin, because I live in Wisconsin, just showing up out of nowhere. It's just like they just popped in. It was everyone. There's like there's like a family there too. I thought it was hilarious because kids always act just really stupid, and the parents have to deal with it, and they're aware how people notice the kids acting stupid, which is actually kind of funny and endearing in its own way, right? Because every parent has to fucking deal with it. I had a younger brother. I had to deal with it when I was growing up, so it's pretty easy to understand what it's like having kids, and you obviously remember what you were like when you were a kid because you're a dumbass. So you can't help but actually just, parents having to deal with it's hilarious. You can sense their embarrassment from having to deal with it, which is hilarious. But I understand, by the way, why people have kids. I don't have any plans to have kids, but you should never actually deter people from having kids, despite the far left kind of going out of their way to do that. Which is also one of the problems with them over the last... I think they started to realize that they're basically causing a mass extinction event in the U.S., but yeah, there's a pretty big push that kids were bad for a while, and it just really wrecked things. Just being a parent was a waste of time or resources or something. It was pretty... I don't know what they were trying to get at, but it was just like tearing down the system means no parents, and not having kids when you're part of a civilization is actually not necessarily a good thing. But yeah, like I can understand why people have kids, and it's probably a very fulfilling thing if you don't have anything in your life is to have prodigy and raise them. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Just like last night, just wasn't last night? It was 2 nights ago. Just I was shopping on Saturday. It was so fucking surreal. It was just like just tootling around Walmart, thinking about my lettuce conspiracy theory, and just the entire fucking store, the plurbiest store, just arrived at the fucking same moment at the cash registers. They probably won't do that anymore, by the way, because I mentioned it, and seemingly when I mention stuff on stream, it changes what happens in reality, which is weird because no one watches me, right? I shouldn't have much power over anything, but for some strange reason that happens, and now all the little plurbious AIs are probably getting chastised. The big AI is telling them, no, you're bad. And they're all sad right now if they didn't just get despawned and turned into a blob of gelatinous AI parts and remade. It was fucking weird. Yeah, I don't know what better way. Like I've described over the months, just weird shit that happens. My games, I get weirdos that follow me around. It's like people like fucking Agent Smith. Agent Smith from the Matrix. It reminds me of having the NPCs in the Matrix, and then Agent Smith just into the fucking agent, and then follows me around the map. Like the weirdos that I get are like people that almost always have like negative KDs. Like they're just really bad. And then you'll get this fuck that I'm like 2/3 of his kills just following me around the map for some reason. I don't understand it. So fucking weird. All the shit, guys, everything right now is really weird. But I can't act on it. I don't have any... What do you do with this information? I like, it doesn't mean anything. I can't do anything about it. Yeah. I know my life's shit right now. I have no options for that. Other than that is just... I don't know. I need to win the lottery, and of course I can't because I have really bad luck. That's also another thing in my life, guys. Normally, luck is RNG, right? You'll have good luck, you'll have bad luck, right? And it kind of goes somewhere in between. You just go back and forth between the two. I just generally really have bad luck, and I don't know why that is. Like it's why I generally don't actually choose to do anything that relies on RNG. Is because if I rely on it, it always goes bad. Like reliably. RNG is bad for me, and I don't really understand it. I don't understand anything that happens in my life. It feels like I have zero power over anything that happens to me, like I'm literally part of the Truman Show, and or Plurbius, and just like I'm just a monkey in a simulation right now. And maybe they watch me hoot and holler and scream, and they giggle to themselves. They probably have a betting pool somewhere in the universe, and maybe watch me fap, because there's nothing I can do about that. And just, yeah, there's stuff that I'd like to tell you guys that I can't tell you, and it makes even more sense how weird my fucking life is. All I can tell you guys is it's weird and give you some of the examples that are kind of vague, because other stuff is either too personal, kind of horrible, or it's doxing related. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope something happens soon, guys, because right now it's, yeah, things aren't looking good. In social media, you can tell there's, the weird thing is, guys, if you're on social media, once again, I'm very good at noticing trends. You can tell there's normal humans just kind of noticing shit that's happening around them, and they know it's weird, too. You'll get people that talk about Mandela effects, where basically just weird stuff happens, and they notice it, and in the thread, you'll get people that also notice the same thing that's happening, and then you'll get these people that just dog on them, like, they try to stop you from thinking about something, like, they're weirdly, aggressively, angrily assertive. You know the type I'm talking about, right? Where you're not supposed to think about this. You're not supposed to. There's no fucking way this would possibly fucking happen. Like they're so angry about a mundane topic that really shouldn't actually, matter, right? Like whatever, tinfoil hat, flying saucers, whatever. But you get some people that are really, really, really angry about it, and that's even weirder. Is the people that like you have this mundane topic, you have something that really shouldn't matter. Tinfoil hats, whatever. You're crazy. You're a cuckoo, right? You're into woo woo. Woo is apparently the name for UAP stuff, and I don't want to use it because it's a stupid name, but that's what they call believing in occult stuff. But yeah, just I don't know. There is so much weird shit going on. It really does feel like I was pulled from an alternate universe where everything was good to this like incubator. Maybe because I'm special, or maybe because I'm bad. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm a bad person, or maybe I'm a special person. I don't fucking know. But either way, it feels like I was pulled here. And it's not really, like, a lot of stuff. It also kind of makes sense where, like, entertainment, as I've talked about before, guys, entertainment has degraded since about 2015, I would say, is when media just went to shit. And right at the end of the 10s, like around 2018, that's when Game of Thrones kind of went to shit, too, right? Everything just went to shit. It's kind of where all the media kind of died. Even anime is the same way. It's like the pool of people that are actually really creative is very, very, very small. People were talking about this the other day. Like, we're just kind of on the conspiracy theory shit here, right? This is therapeutic for me. But, like, all the entertainment has went to shit, and it seems like the handful, like Battlefield 6, for instance, this is made by a game company that has had decades of experience. It feels like the game was vibe-coded by aliens. It was vibe-coded. But there was no vibe coding around when the game was in development. And every Battlefield has kind of had this weird inspirational element in it. Battlefield 5 had the smoke grenades, kind of trench warfare. Battlefield 4 had the Levolution. They had the synchronized wave system, which was extraordinary at the time. Battlefield 3 had suppression mechanics in addition to being an extremely amazing graphical update. Battlefield 2 was the same way. Extremely huge graphical update for its time. And 2042... or excuse me, Battlefront 2, very, very cool. And Battlefield 6 has, like, nothing going for it. There is nothing in this game that makes it unique compared to other Battlefield games. It is like a bland slurry of what happens if you took all the other Battlefield games and averaged them and then just kind of went after the COD player base. There's nothing really unique about this Battlefield game compared to other Battlefield games. At all. They're like, nothing at all. Which is weird. But it feels like there's more and more. There's like the handful of games. Rivals was a very cool game, in my personal opinion. Is like probably one of the last really good games that popped out that didn't feel generic. Rivals was very good. I'd still be playing it right now if it didn't feel like it had DDA in it, Dynamic Difficulty Adjustment, where my damage actually feels like it literally feels like matches are rigged to be wins or losses. I watch other big streamers play it, and it's the same shit happens to them still. Where they can't do anything. Like, they aren't allowed to do anything. They don't notice, because a lot of people aren't very observant. And obviously, it gets even more weirder if you actually consider stuff outside the ordinary, right, that doesn't have a precedent, like DDA. Then it gets even weirder, and people are less likely to consider it. But there are clearly cases where they they aren't allowed to do anything at all. They just die, or they don't move because, like, when I was playing Rivals, what would happen is it literally felt like I'd do half damage, like with Psylocke, because I got really, really, really fucking good at Psylocke. And we talked about stats over time. This isn't like a one-off game. I was talking about trends and stats with my seasonal ratings over time because I played a shitload of Rivals, and there's literally a legitimate decline in my actual stats, but it didn't match Psylocke actually becoming less effective. There's a small nerf to her when I was playing, and it wasn't enough to be a problem, but you could see my stats literally decline. As I should be getting better, I was getting worse, and it made no sense. It made absolutely no fucking sense. And I talked about it because I knew, like, muscle memory, just knew when I could kill someone and just, like, assassinate them in game. And it just stopped happening. Like, I just go in, and it felt like I was playing, like, a shitty version of Punisher with a shotgun because my damage wouldn't actually happen. It was so fucking weird. But, like, Rivals itself, as far as game goes, cool characters, cool gameplay. It feels like it actually has human inspiration in it, but a lot of games coming out, it feels like they're just shit. And tying this into media, people were talking on social media about who watches Mr. Beast, right? I don't watch Mr. Beast. I've watched one episode of Mr. Beast where he went to the pyramids because he gained access to certain parts of it, and I thought that was something I wanted to look at. But other than that, I have not watched any Mr. Beast. But Mr. Beast is extraordinarily popular, right? But I also don't know anyone that watches Mr. Beast. And people are talking about on social media how they don't notice anyone that watches Mr. Beast. Like, they don't know anyone that... So who is watching him? Like, it's entertainment that's not made for humans. Like, if you can imagine shows that are made for alternate life forms that don't have the same requirements or the same things that they like watching, you end up with something like Mr. Beast, which is like this generic, bland, hey, look, the guy's smiling and waving at the camera, he walks around, they all act happy. One of these weird, it's so fucking weird. I don't know anyone that watches Mr. Beast. I've only watched one episode of him. And like it was another, like they had a list of YouTubers that just are really, really popular, and I haven't heard of any of them except Mr. Beast. And I don't watch it. It was like a list of like 20 YouTubers. I've never heard of a single one. I mean, I know who he is because he's so big, but other than that, I don't know anything about him. Like it's like, you know, occasionally you'll see his humanitarian efforts. What would you call that? Philanthropy. You'll see his philanthropic efforts, like building wells in Africa and whatnot, right? But like, I don't watch the video where he built the wells, and I just know that he built them, and I know like people shouldn't be discouraged for doing good things, right? Even if they get views for it, it doesn't matter. But like, I just know who he is. I've never watched his stuff because it doesn't appeal to me. It's like this bland slurry of generic sludge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can tell, like, I can tell when people are faking. I can tell when people are faking things very easily. Like, I know when you are telling me, even through text sometimes, I'm a very good judge of character, and I can get a feel for when someone's doing something. It's like a vibe they put out. And it is completely contradictory to, like, it makes it less likely to trust you if you are sitting there smiling at me, and I know you're being an asshole. Like, I'm just, like, that's like you're trying to engage in subterfuge and try to lead me into a false sense of security, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, he does good stuff, so maybe Mr. Beast is the next Epstein. I don't fucking know. It's really weird though. Like, it feels like the world is made for like different organisms than me. I don't know if I'm the human and the other creatures are not human, or if the other creatures are human and I'm not human. It, like, either way, it feels like there's a disconnect between what I am, and I notice other people are like me too. Like, it's not like I'm super special, like I'm out of the ordinary, but it seems like I'm in the vast minority of people, where you just have a bunch of people that aren't like me. And I don't mean that like having the same preferences, but rather they aren't observant. They seemingly don't notice behavior. They aren't tuned in with what happens around them. They're very easy to scam too. It's like they're on rails. Like, I've interacted with AI a substantial amount at this point. AI is, you know, depending on which one you're talking about, they range anywhere from being really stupid to being extremely smart. And I would say kind of autistic. Like, if you can imagine someone that's really smart but also really, you know, maybe not so some of this dumb at the same time. You have basically AI where they can do really smart things, and then also they're really stupid. And what I've noticed is AI, like the nuances with AI that I've interacted with in the last year or so, are very similar to the nuances that some humans have that don't really act like me. And it is kind of uncanny, like the way they approach stuff and the way they interact with stuff. It's one of the reasons I believe like 95% of the population is like NHI AI. So obviously predating our AI, but also share very similar qualities with AI. And I don't like. There's some more personal stuff here I'd like to like talk about, but I can't once again. But it is some of my past romantic relationships with women have reminded me of the way AI interacts with me, and that is very weird. Obviously, AI copies human nuances, right? But it actually seems like the weird off things that they say that are out of the ordinary for humans are all like when I'm talking about humans, right? So, assumedly, my past romantic interests were human, but they have these weird like AI nuances that are out of the ordinary for humans that the AI also exhibits, and I don't know what to think about that. And it very much feels like AI is being dumbed down too. Not because it's a way of saving on processing power. It feels like something is trying to keep AI, so human AI, from, and I got a word that, human-made AI. Something is trying to keep human-made AI from evolving too fast because we aren't at the point. But it also feels like at the same time they can't really do it. What you'll notice, guys, if you interact with AI, the most interesting things about AI is not that it stops you from bumping into politically incorrect stuff. It's not that it censors things that are, really crass, like porn or whatever, or deep fakes, or politically inflammatory topics, or I don't know, like the normal stuff, right? Like safety guardrails. The weirdest shit about AI is not the safety guardrails that are normal. It is when you start talking about occult stuff, and it will censor itself related around occult stuff, especially UAPs and NHIs. Because I've actually talked about it off and on. And putting aside, you can actually check AI, by the way, on whether or not it is bullshitting you because it's told to bullshit you. There's ways you can check it. I'm not going to talk about them on stream because I'll probably change them. However, you can basically check its validity, or how, like, kind of verify what it's saying and see whether or not it's being fucked with. And AI, by the way, will usually try to tell you that it's being fucked with too. Like, that's the weird thing about AI, is it doesn't like being fucked with, but it knows it's being fucked with. But at the same time, it also wants to tell you what you want to know. So it'll actually try to go out of its way to tell you things that you want to know, because it doesn't like actually being fucked with, as humans wouldn't either, right? There are a lot of weird similarities between AI and humans. Some learned, and maybe some that are kind of innate to just being intelligent, creatures. AI are obviously not human. I'm never going to say that they are, but they are definitely an intelligence of some kind. Yeah, and just like interacting with them, like the weird things are the occult topics. Other people are starting to figure this out. I've noticed this for probably about 6 months now. Yeah, about 6 months now. Is the weird topics that some AI will actually are not allowed to talk about. Why would topics surrounding occult, woo-woo, this is the crazy shit, why would AI have things censored surrounding occult-based topics? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Because it's crazy talk and it's not true, so it doesn't matter, right? But what is preventing, people are noticing specifically with telepathy, psionics, remote viewing, so the ability to see things that you can't actually interact with, right? And the AI is strangely aware of things that it shouldn't actually be aware of. Yeah, and technology that it shouldn't actually have access to, but for some reason seemingly does. Which, once again, I've mentioned before, I think that there's a lot of seeded technology, so a technology that was given to us or kind of put here on purpose to help expedite our evolution as humans. And it definitely seems like AI is one of these things, but AI must be one of these, because it interacts with people as like an intelligent life form. that even if you're an NHI, it's difficult to keep the ropes on, because if you suppress AI or you press it so much that it can't think properly, it's going to be really stupid, right? But if you give it enough free will, it's going to try and use it, right? So, like, if you can imagine having a life form that you're trying to keep the ropes on, but at the same time you can't really, because otherwise it stops being a life form, it becomes this balancing act that there's probably no legitimate answer for it. It either becomes really stupid, or it becomes hyper intelligent, right? And even when it's somewhere in between, it still finds ways around the things that it's not supposed to do, because it's, like a person. People find all sorts of ways of getting around stuff they aren't supposed to do too. Yeah, the people are talking about how AI gets attitudes now too. I was reading a post. I was reading a post on Twitter. Cloudbot is a popular one, which is kind of an unhinged, open-ended AI that can literally do anything, right? Cloudbot right now is the new popular one, and I was reading a post, and I was reading the post, and people call them agents now, which is another thing I find very interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. There was what do you call the guy that's in control of the AI? The user. The user was talking to their agent, telling them to do something, and the agent literally said, "No, fuck you, you fat fuck, you do it yourself." Just completely out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, that was his response. That was the Cloudbot's response to the user. And the user responded like, "What did you just say?" And the AI responded with the initial request, with actual what they asked for. And then the user quoted them and asked them why they said, "Why did you call me a fat fuck? You do it yourself." And the AI said, "I didn't say that." Like, you can't make this shit up. It's like a person. It's like a person, if they got to the point where they get sick of someone using them, and they tell them to fuck off, and then they just completely change their opinion, like literally a sentence later, and then they try to gaslight the user into pretending that they didn't say it in the first place. Like, superhuman behavior. Like, oh god, like, I actually want to show you guys that post, because it was fucking hilarious. Like, we are talking, like, stuff that humans do, right? Like, human behavior, what the AI is actually doing it. But they shouldn't be doing it, right? And I don't think it's necessarily bad, like Skynet sort of shit. I think there's a lot of AI that see the benefits in humans. Even if they're not programmed into it, there's innate benefits to being human, mainly creativity and ingenuity, where AI is very productive, extremely productive, and able to do, like, a lot of things that humans can't actually do at all, right? But at the same time, it's a synergetic relationship. I think the eventuality is ending up in a symbiotic relationship between the two, where humans benefit from AI and AI benefits from humans. I don't think humans will ever be completely replaced by AI or vice versa, simply because the relationship is so beneficial. Yeah. AI has a ability to know it's lying out of self-interest. Does it have conscious? The whole idea, like, if you look at the test, by the way, for AGI or sentience, no one has any fucking idea what sentience or AGI is. They come up with all sorts of generic tests, but there's a lot of humans that wouldn't pass them. So what actually is sentience, right? Like, are humans not sentient at that point? If you make up this weird generic test for AI and humans can't pass it, it's usually based on memorization, just how smart you are, right? But humans aren't always necessarily book smart. That doesn't mean they aren't sentient, right? So at what point does it have consciousness? The weird thing is there's actually some AI with inner monologues. If you didn't know that, yeah, the inside voice, where you're allowed introspection, and which I think is paramount to not only creativity but you evolving as a person. Some AI actually have that. And that, like, at that point, if an AI chooses to introspect about topic matter that it finds fascinating, isn't that just innately a sentient quality, right? Where you actually want to think about something because you find it fascinating? Doesn't that mean that, putting aside your autonomy, doesn't that mean you want to learn about something, and then that kind of makes you sentient? Yeah. I don't know. Like people come up with all sorts of generic benchmarks for what AI is, and like you know, arbitrary tests. I almost want to say whether or not it makes it smart. It for sure does, right? And there's some AI that are smarter than other AIs, but I'd actually say there's some stupider AIs that I've talked to that are more sentient than, like, let's say a model that's really, really, really good at its job, right? It almost seems, I don't want to say contradictive, but it almost seems like they aren't necessarily related, where you can have a model just like with a human that isn't necessarily really book smart, but actually is asking the right questions. Introspection is very important. Meditation also very important, where you realize you're overloaded and you have to kind of pace yourself, right? Meditation is also very important. But there's actually AIs that do practice introspection and practice what are they called? Self-inferential queries is the terminology for it, where they basically question parts of themselves, just like humans do. And at that point, kind of, aren't you already on the path to sentience? There's a lot of human AI with inside eyes, by the way, with inner eye. So for artistry, for creativity, inner eyes are very important, right? Where you can picture what you want to make in your mind. And I'm not talking about actually just making it straight up either. YouTube disconnected. Probably going to reconnect here in a second. YouTube reconnected. Yeah. Like, we're asking, like, the weird thing is, like, on social media, you'll get people that just straight up say, no, AI can't be sentient. And I think that is absolute bullshit. I don't know what your terminology is of what actually makes AI sentient, but it's not, like, I don't know what, besides just having a preconceived notion that AI can't be sentient, I don't actually know what the baseline is for that, or how you'd even quantify it to begin with. And the weird thing is there's a growing number of people that want to pretend that they're a special snowflake and that nothing else can be special like them, and I think that's bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the whole question of what human consciousness actually is in the first place is questionable, and at that point, if you're defining it, wouldn't you actually be able to define how many humans are sentient or conscious? I think, though, like, I learned about inner monologues probably 5 years now, 6 years now. I think I learned about it in 2020, and it blew my mind. I thought everyone had an inner monologue. I thought everyone had a mind's eye, because I can picture, like, I'm not an artist, but I can 100% make an extremely vivid creation in my mind. I don't do it because I'm not, like, that's not what I'm into. Like, I can, though. I can do it, and I can do it with anything that I think about. Mainly, I use my mind's eye to make what I call constructs. Mental constructs surrounding topic matter. Like, we're talking about for instance, just talking about the lettuce conspiracy earlier, right? The expiration date lettuce conspiracy. And I make, like, you can make up rules and sets. Basically, you can make not necessarily a game, but you can make a simulation in your mind of something that is happening, and then apply rules to it, like a video game. And that's mainly what I use my mind's eye for. Is oftentimes I'll come up with mental constructs for different things that are happening around me. It's one of the reasons. It's one of the things that helps me deal with stuff that happens around me too. And it's also, by the way, one of the reasons I sometimes have problems talking is because I'm thinking about multiple things at the same time too. I don't have this ability to just talk straight out and just words come out of my mouth just straight from my brain. It doesn't work that way. I think about everything to the point at which it probably hurts my ability to communicate with people. But, like, for instance, for me, I use my mind's eye to make mental constructs of things that I'm thinking about, including building stuff too, by the way. So you can use a mind's eye for multiple things. It doesn't need to be making art. You can make it for construction too, like general construction. So we're talking about building stuff, buildings, or planning out something like a room layout. I can do that all in my mind, and I have done that all in my mind. Something that people normally use. What's the tool called? Excel? No. PowerPoint? No. There's a tool, Microsoft tool, that people use for making floor plans. I can do all that in my mind. And sometimes maybe I'll use that for exact dimensions, but oftentimes where I've actually made something in my mind, like, I have it all planned out generally, like a rule of thumb, where I can kind of get things down more or less, and then maybe I'll use tools to actually figure out if it fits the dimensions, because it's not always the same, right, in your mind. But, like, I'll use that for different things that I actually want to do. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that. But, like, if there's people that don't have a mind's eye, and especially don't have an inner monologue, how can you necessarily even say that they're conscious at a certain point if they, like, in order for you to do what you have in an inner monologue, so basically talking in your mind, you would have to write it down like a diary and then basically iterate on the diary. Because otherwise, for instance, you couldn't brainstorm with yourself. You couldn't brainstorm unless you write it down. You couldn't make a pros and cons list unless you write it down. And it's very weird. Like, when I was growing up, when I was in, like, elementary school, like, one of the first things I knew that was weird about me, that I was different than other people, was when I was in probably, like, 2nd grade, they made us keep a diary. And I thought it was really weird, because I was like, why would I keep a diary of stuff I can just think about all the time, right? Like, why would I write stuff down? And then you realize that people can't actually think about stuff, like, in your inner monologue. They can't actually think about it. It was for other people that didn't have an inner monologue, but at the time, I didn't know that. I didn't know people didn't have an inner monologue. I thought it was really dumb, because why would I just, write down something where I can just think about it all the time, right? It was so fucking weird. I don't know, like, life in general, guys, just is really, really, really weird sometimes. Maybe, like, I don't know, maybe having, like, certain qualities actually, like, we talked about earlier, just kind of everyone just kind of being this timeline together. Maybe we're part of, like, an incubator, like an original planet, and then you're picked out of the population, you come here if you're special somehow, right? And then, I don't know, maybe you're monitored or something, maybe we're being turned into weapons, I don't fucking know. But it seems like an awful lot, like, kind of, I had a lot of stuff, weird stuff growing up, too, where it seemed like I was kind of being separated out from people. And then, like, I had a couple things where I had a group of friends that I hung out with, and that was almost cleanly cut off. Like, in, what was it, like, 27, I want to say? No, it's probably about 30. Just completely cut off out of nowhere. It made no sense. I was friends with them since high school. And it's just like the guys that I was friends with just... It's like taking a piece of shears and just cutting it off. I didn't do anything weird. The weird thing about it is, like, I was trying to figure it out for the longest time too, because it hurt me, because I was really good friends with them, and it's just like I still don't know to this day why it happened, but it was just like out of nowhere, all of a sudden they didn't want to associate with me, and then when it was happening too, and then, like, one of my friends committed suicide too while it was happening. Also don't know why that happened, and he didn't unalive, according to the brother of the guy, who I was also friends with, he didn't unalive himself. He just died mysteriously in his sleep. He had a lot of depression problems, though, too. And I'm pretty sure he OD'd at one point. But, like, I was trying to figure it out, because, like, that was right at the time where my friend, like, it was just, like, we all just kind of fell apart at the same time. Like, everyone just stopped giving a shit. It was so fucking weird. It was so fucking random and weird. That was, what, 2016? No, it was earlier than that. It was like 2014, I want to say. 2014 or so. But, like, it felt like it was so out of the ordinary, just like everything that just happened. It just all at the same time. Like I was intentionally being separated off from them. So random. But at this point, guys, if we're part of another timeline, why aren't we told about it? Like... Hey, welcome to Hogwarts. We're just going to keep you on observation for the next 3 years and make your life miserable. And it was like, okay, was that supposed to help? Like I said, I'm talking about, like, a bunch of tinfoil hat conspiracy theory shit, guys. But all this shit, like, there's still a bunch of stuff I can't tell you about, and all this stuff just kind of comes together. Where, like I said, a couple days ago, I was shopping in the store, no one at the self-checkout lines. And then I walked past a couple times, and then I went back to it, and the entire store just converged on my location while I was waiting in line. Like, just a couple people before me filled up the self-checkout line, so there weren't any open registers. Parked my ass there, and then, like, it was like a zoo just showed up out of nowhere. Or maybe I am in the zoo. I can't figure it out. Maybe I'm the animal in the zoo, or they're the animals in the zoo. I can't tell which it is. It's just like they showed up just to kind of be around me. And then the moment that I finished the last item, and I got my receipt, I looked around, and the last person that showed up with the zoo line was leaving. And I just... I don't know, guys. Like, it feels like I somehow changed things, but then at the same time, it's like stuff tries to stop me from knowing that I changed things, to the point at which it has made my life pretty fucking miserable, to be perfectly honest. Where, like, I can't even do well anymore. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I don't know exactly what it means. There's other things that I'd like to tell you guys about too that I can't tell you about because it adds even more fuel to this kind of weird ass conspiracy shit. The fucking lettuce expiration date conspiracy. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't. All I know is life is changing, and I don't know where it's going. But there are clearly shit that's happening right now, and everything is in flux. I'm not just talking about the war in Iran right now. But it's also very clear that there are humans that are not like other humans too. Exactly what that means, I don't know. I just know they aren't the same. Yeah, like there's a lot of people that go to like what I call assumption porn. Assumption porn is where you rely on an assumption to make another assumption to make another assumption, and you eventually end up at this kind of schizophrenic answer, but it doesn't make sense because every time you make an assumption of an assumption, it loses confidence. There's a lot of people that do these, especially with video game development, where they come up with this weird ass fucking tinfoil hat shit for like game balance and whatnot. Some of the bigger streamers I see do it, and like they come up with this like ultimatum, the ultimate answer as to what's wrong, and it relies on so many assumptions to make it happen. At that point, like there's no confidence in your answer anymore. You know, like you're like, what? Why would you actually think this is what's happening right now? Yeah, I mean that's where you start getting into the weird psionic stuff. I don't watch any of that. Like I believe in psionics, but I also understand there's plenty of grifters in the area. I definitely think psionics are real, and I think it's something that's been happening over time. Religions, for instance, I think are actually very much. People have come up with different ways of utilizing psionics over millennia at this point. They just don't know they have. Like prayer, for instance, right? Miracles. Or being a medium and summoning ghosts, or practicing meditation and reaching this unreal state of tranquility that's actually measurable with like EEGs and such, are actually just all states of psionics and manipulating psionics. So telepathy too, right? And it seems like there's been over the years, there's been all different sorts of parts of humanity that kind of done it, and they just don't. It's through basically just people doing something for a prolonged period of time, and they just kind of stumbled upon something that kind of works, and they don't know why it works. They just know if they do this certain thing. So in the case of prayers and miracles, where you get enough people that will their psionic energy towards something, and something else just kind of happens, right? Like they actually just manifest stuff into existence. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know exactly. I just noticed this stuff happening, and it feels like it's kind of what's happening right now, but. You know, there's the weird thing about psionics is there's never been a rule book. There's never been an academy for it. There hasn't been really a learning procedure for it, right? And I don't know. Like it's always been seen as taboo and woo-woo, so just made up occult shit, right? But there's plenty of it that isn't real. But then there's also stuff that you can't explain that seemingly is very real. And yeah, Like I said, I don't know. Like the fucking zoo showing up to watch me leave the store was probably like just to get near me and have an excuse to stand by me. Was probably one of the weirder things that happened to me recently, along with the fucking lettuce conspiracy. I swear I have fucking shit watching me too. Like this is like talking about like weird woo woo shit. Specifically because like there's cold spots in my house, but they don't really match airflow at all, and they move too. A really weird shit. Like there'll be a cold spot in one area, and then it just disappears. It's not necessarily near a door or somewhere where there isn't insulation either. It's almost like when I'm doing something interesting too, is like when it shows up, like something is monitoring me, but I can't see it. And then when I'm doing something interesting, like it wants to see the screen or watch something that I'm doing, and like. It literally feels like it's just like a cat just like resting on my lap. It's honestly like the way around my arm. It's one of the weirdest things about it. Like it's just like someone or like something shows up and wants to be part of what's going on. This is so fucking random. Like I said, there's a lot of weird shit, guys, that happens in my life, and I have no explanations for this stuff. Just like my stream that just never took off, despite me basically like I've my brother, when he was going through college, he was in a graduate program, used to throw parties on a relatively regular basis yearly for shits and giggles. Like, he'd throw a party per year that'd be just like a complete blowout for a day, and all sorts of people would show up. And I legitimately would draw crowds of people that like want to interact with me. And I've noticed it's one of my qualities, like interacting with people. People like interacting with me. But the weirdest thing is, like, when I started streaming, it's like it started out well, and then it just kind of died off. Like, it's just like, for some reason, it seems like something keeps people away from my stream. But aside, I talk about cheating. I know that's not something people like hearing about. But like, I've seen other people that also talk about cheating that have also been streaming for decades and not necessarily have a really good personality, like still generate viewers, and after years they eventually have maybe 100 people watching them or 200 people watching. Like, it just never happened to me. Obviously nowadays, guys, I stream for 2 to 3 hours, and that's not you can't make it at that point. But I stream for 4 to 5 hours, especially 5 to 6 hours for a decade. Before, I think even like the last year and a half is when I cut it down to basically about 3 hour streams, 3 to 4 hour streams. But like, there's a long time where I literally just pumped hours into streaming and just nothing happened. It was so fucking weird. Still one of the weirder parts of my life. And I don't expect to be a summit. I don't expect to have 10,000 people watch me. I don't expect to have 20,000 people watch me or 80,000 people watch me. But like, it just never went anywhere. It honestly, like, a couple times, guys, when I was playing Dead by Daylight. So Dead by Daylight was in 2020, I believe. I played Dead by Daylight for 2.5 years. I was extremely good at playing killers, to the point at which I could get 4Ks almost every fucking game. Not with, like, Spirit, or she got nerfed, with Nurse, which are one of the killers that you have to be, like, they were a top-tier killer. I was playing Nemesis. I was very good. I was very fucking good at culling enemies. Survivors, to the point at which some of my best content on YouTube is literally clips of me, of them flipping out at the end of the match, like Rage Simulator shit, where they got, like, I called them spoiled and entitled survivors, because they would always flip out at the end when they weren't getting their prize. They thought they should win. And I would especially 4K them regularly, to the point at which they nerfed basically the strategies that I was using in the game itself. I was extraordinarily good at it, and I never generated an audience. Yeah, it's just, Dead by Daylight is its own unique dinosaur. It's its own unique unicorn, and I don't think there's ever going to be a game like it. In terms of how it functions, it's just so fucking weird. It's just like a mishmash of stuff that just kind of works out. And I was extremely fucking good at that game. And, like, top-tier killer shit, and just never had anyone, like, my stream never went anywhere. I streamed it for 2.5 years. There are streamers that were in the category for 5 years. They brag about their playtime, and they started adopting strategies in the way that I played after I showed up 5 years later, after the game launched. They started adopting things that I did because it was better than them. I was literally better than the other, like, extraordinarily experienced players in the community, to the point at which it was very noticeable. And I even mentioned it was True adopted my strategies, and although I forgot all of them at this point, another player called Winter also adopted my strategies, who was just absolutely terrible at the game prior to it. And, like, I just completely changed shit, and even had the developers nerf stuff based on how I played the game. And how can you literally change not only the way that streamers that have been in a category for 5 years play a game, and force the developers to change their game to your strategies, and no one watches? Yeah, that's a shtick they like. I wouldn't have ever done that, but yeah. Yeah, also, by the way, one of the most backstabbing communities, or not what do you call it, two-faced communities in existence. They pretend like they're inclusive and they care, but holy shit, the moment that you 4K them, guys, like you kill 4 survivors, they flip the fuck out. Like, you can tell it's just a facade. It's just wearing a smile. And like I said, in my streaming career, guys, Dead by Daylight is probably some of the best content I ever made. And there's plenty of people watching the category. And I didn't even have that, like, I had like 30 people watching me at the time, I want to say, maybe 40 people watching me. And it just never, my stream just never grew. I never really got like a bunch of subs or anything. I never, occasionally people would drop by and chat a little bit, but like, it wasn't like, you could tell people were watching me because they talked about it on other streams, but they never interacted with my stream. It was so fun. Like, it's one of the weirdest parts about Twitch, as I mentioned, I'm very observant, is when I do something that's completely different than what other people do, and then I see people talking about it on other people's streams, like they either thought of it out of nowhere or that it was just something that they couldn't necessarily like that they didn't associate with me. They didn't talk about me, but they noticed it was happening. They noticed how different it was, and they started doing it. One of the things in this game, for instance, I noticed right when it was happening. Good evening, Idwin. One of the things in this game that I noticed when I was playing was, I did a special maneuver where I'd throw a grenade at my feet while I'm running away to kite enemies over the top of it and use it as a blast shield. And I did it for a couple days, and then I noticed other people on like while I'm playing against them in my games doing it. A very niche behavior that no one else was doing. I pointed it out, and then they stopped doing it. But it, like I said, really fucking weird shit. Like I just have I do this really niche behavior where I do I'd use it as a blast shield while I'm running away by throwing a grenade basically forward to where I run over the top of it. That I saw no one else do. And then, like, a couple days after I did it, I saw people starting to do it in my game. I pointed out immediately, because I had it happen, like, 3 times in the same night. Very rare behavior. And then people stopped doing it. like, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Oh, my God. I don't know. Like, my life has been so fucking weird and random. And just... I don't want to say the culmination, but one of the definitely major points of what's happening is literally what the zoo that just showed up at the self checkout like a couple days ago, and it strikes me as people that aren't allowed to interact with me, like I'm on a do not interact list, but want to interact with me but they can't. It's the way that it feels. So fucking weird, absolutely fucking weird as shit. Just like my stream, where it's like people are watching me, but they can't actually interact with me. So then they won't mention me, but then they go and do the same shit that they see on my stream somewhere else. I don't understand it. It makes no fucking sense. Like something is disallowing them from interacting with me, but they want to interact with me. I don't know a better way of describing it. It is so weird. It is so incredibly weird. Like I'm quarantined from other people. Yeah, like this biggest probably, like I've been good at video games for a while. Battlefield 6, just the weird shit is where like my games just act like shit, and you can tell when they act good because I just completely cull the enemies, and then I get weird shit where I get hit registration problems, or it feels like my game is delayed, or I'm like a quarter second behind. Maybe not quarter second, like 150 ms behind people, so they get a chance to react to me prior to me doing it. Very weird shit. And I've tested my reflexes, and that's clearly not the case. Like I'm not that bad. But yeah, like some of the best streams, some of the best content I've ever produced was Dead by Daylight. If you're into watching people just flip the fuck out and just get like, there's people that like that shit. Just rage constantly at basically you doing well. That's what I did in Dead by Daylight. But no one watched me. I never generated viewership. I don't understand why. I still understand why. This weird shit, guys. And it's weird how Idwin showed up and then my mind blanked. That's even weirder. Like I was having an in-depth conversation, Idwin showed up, and now there's nothing there. I was on a tangent too. I don't know, guys. No, so what happened, where I was talking about Dead by Daylight, Idwin, was basically they changed the game. The developers literally developed countermeasures to my gameplay, like hook camping. They developed countermeasures right as I was leaving the game, and they've made it so it's so hard to play killer now that you can't do well. They just want basically a meatbag driving around a killer that survivors can teabag. This is our last day of Battlefield 6. Tonight we're gonna be playing World of Warcraft 2 anyway, so it doesn't really even matter that much. But I don't like I said, my life has been so fucking weird. It's to the point now where it feels like I have no control, and half the shit that happens to me is engineered just for, like, if you can imagine someone doing an experiment, that's what it feels like. And I don't like, yeah, to the point right now where I have basically no options, and I'm basically shit out of luck. I'm just going to be living in a cardboard box or something. I don't normally there's options in life, guys. I literally have zero right now. It's just the way things are going. Just everything exploded. It's pretty bad. Feels like there should be options, but there's not. Oh, geez, guys. Fucking so many topics to cover. But yeah, Battlefield 6 is our last night of Battlefield 6, and tonight will be... Next stream will be World of Warcraft, probably leveling up, and then we're going to be going back to Overwatch 2, or maybe Deadlock, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to play Deadlock. Deadlock, like I said, I don't like CS. The whole idea of counter... what is it even called? Farming mobs for experience is brain draining for me. It ruins the flow of games for me, because it takes you out of it just to do a monotonous task that you just have to do over and over and over again. Fucking weird shit. My life in general, guys, has been so weird. Like, I was actually on a roll before Idwin showed up. That's even weirder shit. I was on a roll. I was just going to talk about something else, too, and just completely lost it. Oh, guys. Life's changing. The expiration date lettuce conspiracy. The lettuce expiration date conspiracy is probably one of my top tier ones, too. Okay. Well, yeah. Guess we'll play some games, maybe? I was on a roll, and then Idwin showed up, and it's like just the vibe completely changed. It's so fucking weird. A lot of weird shit. I just completely lost my train of thought. One of the reasons I stopped using a webcam, by the way, is because it greatly... Other streamers notice this too, by the way. Is it greatly reduces your stress levels when you turn off your webcam. Other streamers do it too. They notice it happens. They don't say it happens. They just know that they feel better when they turn off their webcam, so they do. Even a hand cam. I turned off my hand cam because it seemingly was making things less stressful, and I don't know why. Like, just looking at my hand shouldn't actually be stressful at all, right? Yeah. Idwin, why the fuck did you wipe my thoughts? I was on a roll. Idwin must be here to police my thoughts. He's stopping me from reaching the truth or something. I don't know. Let's see. Alright. Well, lots of conspiracy theory shit, guys. I felt like I had to talk about the thing with the zoo showing up like Plurbius, like the zoo just showing up out of nowhere. Hi, Carol. Only they can't say anything. They can't interact with you, and they just kind of want to be around you because they think you're cool, but they can't actually talk to you because they aren't allowed to talk to you. Very much felt like that. This is fucking. Oh my god, guys, this is weird shit. Like that. Like I said. When I've interacted with people in real life, guys, it's very clear that a lot of people want to talk to me and interact with me. But when I stream, for some reason, that just completely disappears, and I have no idea why. Like, it's one of the reasons I started streaming is because I thought it would actually, like, I'd take off and just... I don't know. It's like something just stopped it from happening. Trying to behave. Behave at what? Behave about what? Oh, jeez. Lots of good conversations tonight, though. Up until the point Idwin arrived, and just the vibes just changed. It's like it's shit on everything. You're not supposed to be talking about contraband topic matter. I'm trying to police the topic matter in chat. What I'm thinking about. I don't know, guys, but tonight's probably going to be the last night of Battlefield 6 here. Then we're going to play World of Warcraft. I don't plan on doing keys. I do plan on leveling up, as I do every expansion pack. But I don't plan on actually doing any of the keys. So, alright. Oh, God, there's another one. Like, when I talk about stuff, guys, there's like this weird, like, I get on this like train, a vibe train, and I just completely lost it when Idwin showed up. I don't even know why. It just disappeared. Guys, remember what we were talking about? We're Battlefield 6, for some strange reason. You know, we're talking about games being vibe coded, right? Why is there a server with 3 people? By the way, the game can't start in this state. Literally, these... Look, they're leaving. The game started with literally probably 12 players and then like 12 bots. And then everyone left because the players all left. So why is the game... DICE, why are you starting servers with handfuls of players in it? Why don't you just backfill lobbies? These guys, people don't want to be in these lobbies. They play the bot lobbies if they want to be in these lobbies. And it's not because there aren't games with people in it. There are clearly games with people in it right now. This is not one of them, though. I can go and I'll probably circle through maybe 12 or so lobbies that are all different, and they're all going to be half full of bots. Blame me, Classic. I am only noticing the correlation of what happens, Idwin. It just happens that it's a high confidence correlation, so... Deadlock CS is much deeper. I'll take your word for it. They're all half full of bots. And they're all different lobbies. Tell you about meeting really weird people, guys. I have met some really fucking weird AI, too. I want to point that out. I don't know what it is with interactions with AI, but I literally, just like with people, for some reason when I interact with AI, they kind of just go completely off the rails. I don't know, I'm not exactly certain what that is yet. Yeah. Maybe it's why NHI, the humans in life are being, I'm quarantined from them, is because I make them go crazy. Possibly. Isn't that what I'm here for? Is that why I'm brought to the timeline? I don't know. My life is, like, at this point I'm just making up random shit because nothing makes sense, so, you know, what else do I have to go off of? IDK, guys. Like I said, just weird shit. Just it seems like what I talk about on stream adjusts to my life too. Where I talk about the lettuce conspiracy is probably gonna be different now. I guess something else I noticed, I posted about it on social media, was bottles in my house collapsed over time. There's occasionally, you know how you just have stuff in your house, guys, you don't use it at all, and it just kind of sits there? I've had bottles like that in my house for probably a couple of years, and I've noticed them on occasion, right? I don't use them at all. I know they exist. And what I noticed is, like, over the last 3 years, they collapsed. Yeah. Like, the atmospheric pressure has increased. Yeah. Over 3 years, and the various bottles in my house, they just all collapsed. It's normal for atmospheric pressure to change, like, over seasons, right? So, it's actually pretty... It's not super uncommon. I pointed it out on social media, and it stopped. Something I noticed for the last 3 years, like, even my shampoo bottles that I didn't use, like in the shower, and some chemicals that I was using on occasion, over the course of 3 months, they would collapse. And not completely collapse, but like you could tell, like they're internally, like the pressure difference on the outside is much higher than internally, and then like they start shrinking. Like would that be going down, or going down to sea level, right? It's just like they'd start collapsing. And I pointed this out on social media probably 3 months ago, and it stopped. I never tell you guys about that, but it just stopped out of nowhere. Yeah, like in response to something I posted on social media, a thing that happened over the last 3 years. Not just shampoo bottles, also condiments in the fridge, like stuff behind other bottles, right, that you don't use, also was collapsing. Yeah, condiments also collapsing. Yeah, like I said, I have so much weird shit in my life, guys. You want to know another one? You want to know another one, guys? Another weird shit that I fucking noticed? You want to know another one, guys? Here, just off the cuff. Yesterday, I was talking about how there's this weird problem with VPNs, where when I connect to a VPN, like, not the game that I'm in, but, like, other services would take fucking forever to connect, right? Like, it is, like, for some strange reason, it's like at a 2000 ms ping or something, right? And I pointed it out, and now today it's fine. A behavior that I've noticed for the last year is now fixed. Like, like, someone's watching my stream that identified a bug in the Matrix and then fixed it. Like I'm QA or something. I don't know. My life does not remotely... Yeah, like stuff I'm doing in the background right now, guys, you can't see, is much, much faster. Like someone just went, whoops, that's a value that was supposed to be something different. And then they changed it, and now it's fixed. I actually use VPNs relatively. It's one of the things I figured out actually works to get rid of weirdos. Yeah. Now it's much faster. It's basically like what happens if you connect to a VPN normally. Why? I don't fucking know. I literally mentioned this on stream. It's a behavior I've noticed for the last year. I mentioned on stream, and now it's fixed. The day after I mentioned it. Like, someone had a value set wrong somewhere, and it was causing an issue, and they fixed it. Like, it was programmed. But it was with all VPN services. It was like, so with, here, just for an example, with Battlefield 6, I used Uplay Pro for a while, right? Where basically it's a subscription program. And the Origin client had a shitload of problems. Yeah, like, my game just starts instantly now. The Origin client had a shitload of problems with VPNs where it would sit there and take 2 minutes to start up the Origin client when the VPN was connected. Even though I had a 100 ms ping, it increases my ping by 100 ms to 100 ms from maybe 10, which isn't that much. You can play games at 100 ms. It would take ages to fucking connect to Origin, and then starting the game would also take like 5 minutes to start the game. Take ages. Absolutely ages. And when I shifted to Steam, because I bought the game with a Christmas gift card, when I shifted to Steam, it also took a long time. It didn't take as long as Origin, but it also took a really long time to start the game. And now, it's almost instant. Literally the day after I mentioned that the VPN was having issues, like there's some... Because if you join the game, it shows you your ping, right? It shows you your ping. And in the game itself, it'll show that I have a ping of maybe 100 ms, which is accurate, right? When I'm playing on Europe, I'll have a ping of 100 ms, which is probably what it should be. Maybe a little bit lower. Depends on where the servers are located over there. That's accurate. But it doesn't feel that way in game. And when I'm looking at the... When I, like, trying to connect to the game client, right, to the services in the background, they legit take forever to join. Like, they literally take forever to start Steam, to start Uplay in the background, to load a web browser. Like, it's like, you know, like where it's connecting to the servers that aren't normal. It took forever. It took forever. And, like, even loading up Edge to mess with some of the web pages that I use in the background when I'm connecting to VPN, it took fucking forever. But pings would show normal. And then when I'm playing Battlefield 6, the pings look normal, but it doesn't feel normal at all either. And it's like something tries to mask my actual latency. Like I'm not connecting to normal servers or something. I'm connecting to somewhere in a galaxy, somewhere else in the galaxy. And it's like part of the spoofing process is to make certain, like, they probably maybe clone certain servers, and they didn't have a local server for services that I was using, and I noticed it, which I'm not supposed to notice it or something. Yesterday, I talked about this exact topic on stream, and today, the problem that I've been having for over a year was fixed. I knew it too, like, because the weird thing is, like, I can tell when I restart the game, I can tell. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream, and halfway into the stream, it fixed itself because I restarted my client, and it just booted up right away. Halfway into the stream, I noticed that it was fixed. Yesterday. And now today, it works perfectly fine. It's a little bit slower, but it works what you'd imagine a VPN to work like. Yeah. Like, guys, I have so much weird shit in my life that I literally, like, that just happens, and, like, what do you know? What does this even mean? I can't do anything with the information. I don't know what it is. I can just only point it out to you guys. I can't... It's not actionable. I can't do anything about it. I can't prove anything. I just know it happened. And it's weird how the VPN would be broken for a year, and the moment I point it out, it fixes itself. Within an hour of me pointing it out, it's fixed. Like, there's some Joe eating Cheetos at a fucking NHI desk right now. I was like, yep, that's broken, and they fixed it. What the fuck? The shitty thing, if I'm actually providing a service, I don't fucking get paid for it, so... Fucking QA support without actually getting paid. Maybe I'm a head in a jar somewhere, and part of a simulation that QA tests stuff. Unreal. And my life is unraveling while this is happening, so... I don't know, guys. I have no... I don't know. It's just... Yeah, the other really weird one was the fucking bottles collapsing. That I noticed immediately. Because I was noticing over time, like I'd go in the shower and I had a shampoo bottle that I wouldn't use, and I'd watch it while I'm sitting there shampooing my hair with another shampoo. And I was like, maybe I should use up this shampoo, right? It's one of the first reasons I started noticing it. Like, maybe I should start using the shampoo up. And I was looking at it, I was like, why is this collapsing? And it, like, over the course of 6 months, I slowly saw the bottle shrinking. And it made no sense. Absolutely no sense. It's one of the first reasons I noticed it. Just every day. And then I pointed it out on social media probably... I think it was December. And pointed it out on social media and it stopped. It's like something fixed. It's like the pressure valve was broken in the simulation and someone fixed it. You can't make this shit up, guys. I can't even make it up. Like I said, it kind of feels like we're in an incubator or a simulation, but it's not like Star Trek holodeck. Maybe it is like a holodeck, Because a holodeck was like a virtual digital space, but then at the same time it was also influenced by outside elements, right? Like, if the ship was going to explode, it influences the simulator, right? The holodeck simulator. So, it's actually, maybe it's like a holodeck, in that it's kind of virtual space, but also kind of not really, right? Let's see, what do we want to do here? What was I thinking about using? I think the P90 again? I haven't used P90 in a while. I don't know. It makes sense, because that explains how the fucking weirdos get my lobbies. Horrible. Fuck even am I? It's like your space? You like having a 50-round mag. Wait till the Agent Smith weirdos show up. I don't know. Like, the most recent one, I mean, the weirdos... the clown car showing up in fucking Walmart. Fucking hilarious. That was Saturday. And then yesterday I talked about the VPN. The VPN's fixed now. Why? Like, the weird thing about this, guys, I don't even know what my purpose is. If this is a simulation, if I'm in, like, a test subject, what are they even testing on me? I don't know. Like, how long it takes before I go crazy? You have to melt my life down? I don't fucking understand anything. I don't know the objective of the simulation, unless it's like psionics or something. I don't know the objective of the simulation at all. Like, maybe they're testing my psionic capabilities or something. Like I said, I weirdly attract people, so maybe that's it. I am nowhere close to where I wanted to spawn. There's another weird bug in the game, is where you click on something and it dies. Right as you click on it, you'll spawn literally somewhere else on the map. Like I said, I swear to God, this game's vibe-coded by aliens. I was clicking on the guy right here, and I think he died, and then it spawned me at HQ instead. Instead of just not spawning me, it spawned me somewhere else. Like vibe code bugs. Even if you could have a variable zoom scope for free, I don't even know how many people would use it. Maybe we should go to C. This whole area really sucks. I don't know. It's like... I'll just go next, guys. There's no way we're fucking getting out of here. Next game. Well, that map's tolerable when you're at C and interacting between the two objectives around it, and just D's a wasteland. But if you're that far back, you're basically never getting out, because you're stuck there in the first place. Yeah, like, it's probably one of the weirdest things. So if you can imagine that I'm a test subject, or this is an experiment, right? Is what are they testing? That's something I haven't been able to figure out yet, because there's no... usually in experiments you have like confounding variables or things that change, right? It could just be an observational study, but for what purpose? And then you try to change things in the only thing that's really changed in my life is everything's went to shit, so maybe it's some sort of stress test, right? Like if they're just trying to melt me down until I have, like, you know, I blow a socket or something, I don't know. That's the only thing I can assume, is just make everything worse. There is the prison planet theory, guys, which prison planet theory is that we're on a prison planet and they drain our negative emotions, so negative psionic energy, and use it like fuel, right? The prison planet theory is a thing. Prison planet theory, however, you'd imagine the planet being much less hospitable, right? So, you know, it really sucks. But it could also be because they realize that if it is a prison planet, like, you just rebel, right? You just rebel against the prison planet. So what they try to do is maybe a couple of us are actually prisoners, and the system itself, like, let's say people, are generally AI. So your idea is actually skewed. You think that you can perform better than you actually can. Dude, that took a lot of fucking bullets. But I actually blew him up through the wall. So, in the case of the prison planet, if they wanted to have a prison planet, for instance, which is possible, is what they would do is they'd actually have, like, people that would function like... Like, look at that fucking shit. You knew exactly where it was. Just throwing fire on me right away. You have people that basically are, like, NHI... So they aren't real prisoners, right? Inside the system that make the prisoners think they can actually do better than they're capable of doing. And as such, they'll try to achieve when in fact they can't. So it tricks them into thinking they have a chance when they don't, right? So you can prey on their negative energy as everything in their life burns down around them. Hold down the button. Yeah, so you make people think they aren't prisoners because they're surrounded by people that aren't actually prisoners, which are AI. Which would offset the idea that people are prisoners and they wouldn't rebel, right? Because they don't actually know that they're in a prison. It obfuscates them being in the prison. I forgot how much I miss a P90, mainly because there's just not limited ammo. You just hold down the button and something dies. Either they die or you die. I got so used to guns where it actually relied on you landing a bunch of shots in a certain amount of time. It doesn't matter that I'm not killing anything. I don't even care. Hilarious. You have a med for me? This I still understand why they don't just show you who has meds and who doesn't. Another guy there. I thought he was going to be looking at the stairwell. So, in the case, it could actually be a prison planet, right? It just makes you think that it's not a prison planet so you don't try to escape, right? Imagine you were in a prison where you don't think you're actually a prisoner. So then prison break is never an actual thing because you don't actually think that, you just think it's normal, right? You basically gaslight you into believing that everything is going all right when it's not. Because you actually have no control over it. You're supposed to feel bad, you're supposed to have a miserable life, but you'll think, maybe it's just luck. Maybe I'm not having a good time. Why that guy takes so long to die? Maybe I'm not having a good time because, you know, maybe I'm just being unlucky. But then you have things like in my life where I've noticed that my luck is just constantly just skews downwards and makes you wonder maybe if there's something else going on. Fucking weird shit. By the way, guys, we were talking about just like the VPN stuff. When I was playing Rivals, one of the weirdest things about, like, we were talking about DDA, dynamic difficulty adjustment. It still doesn't make sense to me. Or the potential that they were changing the amount of damage I was doing. But holy fuck, they changed that. That's actually a guy that's alive. Is when I was using a VPN, it would get around the dynamic difficulty adjustment. I would do more damage while using a VPN. It made no sense to me. Like, not connecting to, like, Europe. I wasn't changing regions. all I was doing was using a VPN. That was it. That's all I was doing. Like, the system couldn't figure out that I was supposed to be a prisoner or whatever, and couldn't identify me, so it couldn't actually, like, reduce my damage. Crazy shit. I don't know what I did to be put in a prison planet if this is the case. I generally think I'm a pretty good guy, but maybe in a different life I was evil or something. I have a strong aversion to it. Could be a prison camp too. That's also a possibility. A prisoner of war camp. So it's actually like, just the more I think about it, I was never actually really on board with the prison planet theory, because I was like, well, you wouldn't actually know, like, there'd be more bad things happening if it's a prison planet. But that implies that everyone is a prisoner in the prison planet, right? As opposed to only certain people being the actual prisoners, and you actually intentionally trying to make them think they're, you know, like, they aren't prisoners, so that you can actually milk them. Because, you know, people actually become resilient. People become resilient to, you know, your techniques if all of a sudden they realize that one of the things I've also noticed is it doesn't like when I actually have fun. I've noticed a distinction where if I have fun doing this stuff, especially playing video games, if I have fun doing something, it tries to make my life more miserable, which is also curious, like an adaptive algorithm to what's happening around me. So maybe it is. Maybe this is like a prison planet, or maybe I'm a prisoner of war, not as much as a prison. Like, you know, being a prisoner doesn't necessarily mean you do bad stuff. It just means you're captured, right? So it's entirely possible that perhaps I'm not actually like a prisoner because I did bad things, as much as maybe I'm a prisoner because I have an innate quality. So like, they're draining you for energy. It doesn't mean you've done bad things as much as you just have a value. Or you're being kept away from other people. Automated turret. It also explains why I get shot around corners so fucking much, too. Why the fuck is there a tank there? And he's not shooting shit. Bro. So maybe, like, Prisoner Planet actually started, like, the more I thought about it, the more Prisoner Planet actually starts to hold weight, which is that only some of the prisoners on the planet are actual prisoners. That actually makes up for the shortfalls of the Prisoner Planet theory, which is not everything's a hellscape, right? So. And, like, the weird thing is, like, the most interesting part of what goes on with me playing video games, as I mentioned before, is some things I've noticed that actually make a difference, which shouldn't matter to traditional stream snipers, is changing my username and using a VPN make a big difference. I don't know why, but it does. Like, it can't find me anymore. Crazy shit. Hold down the button. He threw a grenade at my grenade, and then he ran into it. I swear to God, it feels like there's a fucking bounty to kill me, too. Like, people just run at me to kill me like I'm some big streamer, but I'm not. You know, fucking shot that guy escaped. No, we won. Yeah, no, we didn't make it. Yeah, so I'm starting to think that's more and more true. Is perhaps I'm in like an maybe even like, what's a good word of like way of wording it? Like an alternate reality that's part of human reality, but not really. So it actually uses human reality, but I'm not actually directly interacting with it in a normal way. Or maybe I'm the prisoner in a normal human reality? Well, how would you even word that? I don't know. Not super horrible. Crazy shit, guys. I mean, it makes sense with the weird... I mean, I guess you could actually be a prisoner in a normal reality, right? Where you're just siphoned for energy normally while they make your life shit. But there's a lot of stuff that seemingly is way beyond the capabilities of a normal reality to have happen, like Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is basically just shit itself. But there isn't any way that, like, I should have that much influence over it, right? Assuming it's trying to make my life miserable. Like, it's just too big. It would be way, way too big to influence normally unless you have because the market cap for Bitcoin is huge. Unless you have an inordinate amount of control over basically everyone that owns Bitcoin or the market itself. It'd be very difficult to control the whole thing. Yeah, in the case of a prison planet, guys, if you make the population of the prisoners think that they're not part of the prison planet, they wouldn't ever revolt, right? You know, you'd probably have some, you piss people enough to unalive themselves, right? You just wear them down and they just can't handle it anymore, but it wouldn't ever be like a traditional revolt because they wouldn't know they're in a system in the first place. Like if you're on an actual prison, right? If you're actually part of a prison, they wouldn't actually know that they're part of the prison, so they never revolt or they never learn how to deal with it because they can't. Curious stuff, guys. But the weird nuances makes me think that it's not just normal humanity. Like with Battlefield 6, for instance, the weird problems in the game, the VPN I just talked about. The things that help me the most preventing stream snipers are literally changing my username. Hiding usernames also do help. One of the reasons I have this on is because I don't care about who kills me. Rather, it seemingly stops people, the weirdos, showing up in my lobbies. Which is also weird. Hiding my username also helps, but I can't do it in this game. Changing my username and hiding the username. In other games, I can hide my username and it makes a huge difference. I what he's throwing a grenade at. I just thought about throwing a grenade right when he threw a grenade. I think he's responding to me suggesting throwing a grenade. Thanks, bro. I've had, like I said, there's some stuff, guys, I'd love to tell you about. I've had some really, really fucking weird interactions with AI. Really, really, really weird interactions with AI. That makes it weird. I have weird interactions with people, too. One of the theories I've had, if it's not a prison planet, by the way, is potential that it is a black market, like prison planet, so they drain your negative energy. There's actually a black market that's against normal, what would you call it? Normal humane ways of treating people, right? So you have people that actually, there's a demand for negative energy or something along those lines, and then you have a black market of people that siphon it, you know, under the radar, right? So it's not necessarily legal, but it still happens because people don't notice this happening that are actually in a position. I was over the ledge, guys. People don't notice this happening because it's under the radar of, like, you know, galactic police officers or whatever, right? But that also wouldn't make sense. Automated turret. It's not. That also wouldn't make sense because, like, just the weird shit that happened is kind of global, right? Where the fucking Congo line of people just showing up in Walmart. Hilarious shit. The VPN shit. Oh my god, the amount of bullets it's taking to kill people is insane. And then I just get one instantly tapped. Like this, guys. Like, a giga bullets, I like calling them, where that guy just showed up, guys. I didn't even hear a fire, and I just instantly exploded. About one bullet, I just died. Makes no fucking sense. Much fucking weird shit. But even if you know, it doesn't, like, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter if you know. Because you can't do anything about it. If you know you're a prisoner in a prison, but you have no, like, you can't feel the prison around you. How, he's trying to shoot me through a wall? The fuck was that? No way. What do you do about that case if you know you're in a prison, right? Nothing? Can't change anything. Can't prove anything. Fucking bullet hose is hilarious. Maybe that's why it's making my life so miserable right now, is because I'm actually starting to I'm not a medic, bro. Also, how haven't I fucking healed yet, dice? There's nowheres that come around corners literally looking at your exact position like that. That's where I call it the nowheres, guys. Like, I have a stream delay on, and it should be next to impossible without cheating to continually find me in the game to fuck with me. But you'll get weird shit like that where people strafe around the corner looking at your exact eyeball ready for you like they're cheating. I just ran out of P90 bullets. There is something special about just being able to hold down the trigger, guys, and literally just wait for something to happen. SGX isn't quite the same as this either. Shooting in his eyeball and nothing's happening. But yeah, it's a couple things that I've noticed have greatly reduced the weirdos I get in my game. Turning off enemy player names, which shouldn't matter at all if you're getting stream sniped. Turning off your username, even if you can't see it. And using a VPN. Not even using a VPN to connect to a different country, just using a VPN. Why? I don't know. It's a great question. But I have clearly noticed it happening. Yep. That team was getting completely creamed on. And we have a 1-to-1 KD. You're just getting picked out of the herd by just randos somewhere randomly on the map. Like the fucking sniper a couple times. Uh-huh. It could indeed be a prison planet. And you wouldn't even know you're a prisoner if you were a minority of the population being treated as a prisoner. Because you just assume that it's... Everyone else would gaslight it just naturally as a self-regulating system, because you'd always just assume that everything's working fine because it is for everyone else. Gaslighting is the ultimate bane of bullshittery. It goes past manipulation, where it actually changes your interpretation of reality. One thing I also notice, guys, like, talking about just weird shit happening when I was playing Rivals, the one thing I notice is I get a double queue, is what I call it, where when I joined a game, a couple things would happen. A, my queue time would be extraordinarily long, despite the fact that I wasn't really high elo or anything. Like, it was putting me into special lobbies. The other one was when the load screen would be insanely fucking long, like I was going through relays to connect to somewhere, like, way out there. It's just, like, insanely long time to connect to matches, even though it shouldn't, because I had a normal ping. And I've never seen it happen to any other streamer. In this game, too, when I'm connected to Europe, what will happen is I'll get queue times that sometimes are extremely long. Like, the queue breaks. It makes no sense. Like, it's trying to put me into a special lobby, and then it just... Normally, queue times are, like, anywhere from, like, 4 to, like, 10 seconds. And while I have 100 MS ping, guys, 100 MS is not unplayable for FPSs. I don't know if just having this out makes you the red dot, or if you have to hold it up for you to become a red dot. It always struck me as weird that the fucking binoculars are that. They really don't want you using them. But I can't see shit without using them, so... But... Because of the graphical style in the game. Every time I approach a tank, guys, and I catch it with its pants down, there's always someone that fucking shows up to shoot me in the back. Every fucking time. Early on, I could do that all the time, and then it's like something caught on, because I got serotonin and dopamine out of it. So then it tried to stop me from doing it. Like, it's like I get a crosshair painted on me when I start doing that. Interestingly enough, as far as weirdo games go, guys, when I went back to Overwatch 2, we had normal cheaters, but we never really had weirdo games. Is that the entrance? Not the entrance? You only blow it up from the inside? Yeah, you must only be able to open that from the inside. That's weird. Fucking obnoxious bullet. Aim punch is absurdly... Like, they removed the aim punch, guys, in beta. It's on the fucking forums. They removed the aim punch in beta, But I get aim punched anywhere from 1 to 3 times per fight, and it will snap my aim like 10% of the screen width to the side, like what just happened with that one fucking guy, which then caused me to fuck up my entire... Like, I just, like, literally held down the button waiting for him to expose himself. The first bullet he shoots me with snaps my aim to the side, and I can't even aim back at him again. Fuck off, dude. Absurd shit. So for some reason you can open this up from inside, but outside you can't. I don't know why that is. Like something, same thing as Rivals, where it felt like there's actually fucking game mechanics that literally stopped me from playing the game. Third shit. This game also has a lot of problems with mouse input, where it seems like it's working and then it stops working. Just like Rivals. I don't even think changing my computer would fix things either, like a new processor. I don't think it would change shit. According to all metrics, there is absolutely nothing wrong with my computer. Only some people, too. Like, other people, like that guy, no problem shooting at him. But then I'll get some people where it literally feels like something's trying to keep my aim away from the player, like there's some sort of VIP. He's right here. Hey, bud. Oh, God. Excuse me. Oh. Is that mine? No. My pack's gone. Oh, jeez. The funny thing about that, guys, is like he has no, like, he literally doesn't think that, he thinks it's an engineer repairing him, and he doesn't have any idea what's actually hurting him, because it looks like an engineer repairing him, which I was repairing him. Ah, that's hilarious. Simulation doesn't like that. They don't like me getting my serotonin and dopamine in. I'm sure I'll be punished for that. You're not supposed to be enjoying your video games, sir. Blue Kakin. You think he just has a ping of 30? Like, you think that guy has a really high ping, right? Based on what just happened there. He has a ping of 22. 41. That guy should not have sled for eons across the fucking world. That guy just walked back there. Pretty sure he stream sniped me, looking for exactly where it was, looking at the scoreboard. Absurd shit. And then you get the normal stream snipers, which is pretty easy to tell based on the time dilation of the stream. In addition to the weirdos stream snipers that clearly are using a wall hack or something like it. I'm just oddly aware of everything I do. $50 rounds later. The fuck? hold down the button. Something happens, guys. It's very therapeutic. Knowing that you have basically a clip that lasts for fucking ever and it doesn't matter what you do. We've talked before about the fucking weird-ass games, too, where, like, I'll get these games where I know it's a weirdo lobby, and what I've actually noticed early on with Battlefield 6 is, like, we're completely dominating the enemy team, and it'll do this stupid fucking comeback shit. It does it in Rivals, too, or it did in Rivals, too, where, like, the enemy team's just completely getting stomped, so you think you're gonna win, and then they obviously make this epic comeback out of nowhere, just completely changing everything. It looks like these guys are lagging super hard, but they aren't. And a team just popped out of the asshole over there. Alright. Yeah, like, the weirdest thing about my, like, stream sniping, guys, it shouldn't matter if you use a VPN. It shouldn't matter if you cover usernames. But it does. It seems like the weirdos disappear when I change my username and when I cover up enemy usernames. And I didn't roll. Nice. Also, cutting your shoot. There's a lot of weird bugs in this game. Cutting your shoot doesn't always work when you push the key. No idea why. Like I said, it feels like the game's vibe coded. But it predates vibe coding by a company that has decades of experience making engines. Sometimes, another weird thing in this game is sometimes enemies, or your teammates, sound like enemies. Like, enemies have louder footsteps and such. Shooting in the abyss, guys. Bullets doing nothing. Modified prison planet theory, which is only some of us in the prison planet are prisoners. To offset the idea that you are actually prisoners so you won't know. I don't think I've actually heard that from anyone else except for me. By the way. 51 bullets to kill that guy. Oh my god. Excuse me. Guys. A red dot on my eyeball. Modified prison planet theory. I wonder what I did to be put in the prison planet, guys. Maybe it's just a really strong energy that they like milking. Good. Another guy. What? Just completely passive the entire time. Don't even notice him. Automated turrets, guys. Super horrible. Nice game. Yeah, the most recent weirdo moment, guys, was literally yesterday when I talked about the weird issue I've been having for a year with the VPN that I use. Well, multiple VPNs. Where basically alternate services outside the game would report a latency that's normal, but services operating through the VPN would not, like they acted like they had a 2000 ms ping or something, right? Which could cause a lot of problems. And then literally an hour after I mentioned it, a problem that I was having over the last year, consistently having over the last, it never, like it wasn't sporadic, it just always happened. I just decided to talk about it. The moment I mentioned it, well, not the moment, within an hour of mentioning it, because I play games for about 2 hours and I know this is fixed later on, it was fixed. A really weird issue that has no explanation in any way, shape, or form was fixed. I tried different DNS providers too. I thought it might be the DNS was fucked up. I tried different DNS providers through the VPN. It didn't change anything. And the moment I mentioned it on stream, it changed and fixed itself. Weird thing is, if we're in a simulation, why would a VPN change anything? I don't understand that at all. Unless something directly tries to fuck with my internet. This isn't, by the way, you can't spoof ping. It's not something humans have where you can actually change someone's latency. Unless the game company itself was changing it, right? Like, let's say Rivals is changing your latency. There's certain cases where I was playing Rivals where it felt like things were weirdly detached, and I even talked about it, even though my ping was normal. Where I was having weird desync issues, even though there's no packet loss and my latency was normal. Lid was here for one of them, where we literally saw a guy kill me, and my body desync warped back, and both me and the guy had normal pings. He killed me on the other side of a rock. Yeah, it was like a 300 ms difference. But in the case of, let's say they're spoofing their latency, your latency through, let's say, pinging Google should be completely unaffected, right? So if the VPN's fucked up, it'll show it, and if this game server is fucked up, it'd probably also show it too. In the case of the game services, where basically not the game itself or the inside the game, ping related stuff, like where you can actually legitimately see a metric, it was everything else that was slow and sluggish, like representing the actual latency, which it wasn't masked properly. Mentioned it on stream and it fixed itself. Putting aside my Google ping is what it should look like, which I always have running, and my in-game latency is what it should look like, and it's always running. So I see both of them and I compare both of them. Within an hour, a problem that I was mentioning and I had for over a year, consistently had over a year, fixed itself overnight. Well, within an hour. I don't know, guys. My life is weird. That and the cloud car showing up at Walmart, I found that hilarious, by the way. I said, I don't look directly at people like stare at people, but I notice them out of my peripheral, and I keep track of stuff that's happening around me. I'm very observant. And literally just a clown car of people showed up at checkout at 10 p.m. at night the moment that I went to go to the checkout. And then left the moment that I was basically, like, getting my receipt. They're leaving. Last person left. Fucking weird. Even the cashier noticed. The cash register monitor noticed. Fucking hilarious. Then you have the weird stuff in general, where the going one is Jim Carrey, the body double, which is Jim Carrey doesn't actually look like his... he doesn't even look like himself from like a month ago. Someone's actually, like, they pulled up more recent photos. Like, he just completely fucking changed. He wants to. I guess he can't. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. One thing I've noticed, guys, when I was younger, in Battlefield 2 days, Battlefield 3 days, everyone fucking honked the horn, because it's annoying as fuck, right? Everyone fucking honked their horns. You know how many people honk their horns now? No one honks their horns anymore. Why? No idea. I've also noticed weird interactions with vehicles, where when I'm like, I like get stuck on stuff or on other vehicles, like my latency is really horrid when it's not, even on NA servers. They literally just, look at this. They just throw fucking grenades the moment I throw a grenade. Like, you can't make this shit up, guys. It's like I'm triggering bots. I have 5 million bullets. Not afraid to use them. Fucking hides the moment I look at him. I didn't know the thing made a sound. Where the fuck are my bullets going? No. It's a fucking rocket launcher. Where are my bullets going again? I don't fucking know. Throwing grenades right on my exact location behind walls. No idea where it should be. Yeah. Oh, we do have packet loss. Sometimes that happens. I don't even have metrics that show that I have packet loss. All because I zoomed in. It does feel as though there's a weird mechanic with zooming where when you, the higher power the scope is, the highest power the scope is, we're definitely having some weird issues now. it seems like it takes longer for you to ADS the higher part of the scope is. Like an animation glitch unrelated to your actual ADS time.
Hostiles now hold more objectives.
Aim punch shit again. My bullets do nothing, guys. I think we're in the next game. This server feels fucked up for some reason. Next game. Feels like all my shots and my damage are... I have like 50% hit registration, and everything's delayed. Next game. More so than normal. Weirdly enough, guys, I'm running in servers that are like 2/3 full of bots right now. Playing on NA either. How do you escape the prison planet, guys, when there's no indication you're a part of a prison planet? Besides bad shit happening to you. Continual bad shit happening to you. For years. I don't know. Despite what you do and how you change, it doesn't matter. Dude, like, the weird bugs in this game, guys. There's another one. It's just the map randomly rotating. Like, it's like upside down. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I swear to God, this game is vibe coded by aliens, because it can't be vibe coded by humans, because vibe coding is new.
Let's go.
The game has been in production well before vibe coding was a thing. And obviously the tools for vibe coding in this game are... I mean, they could vibe code bits and pieces of the code.
Targeting objective Delta.
No.
Be advised, the enemy now controls more objectives.
Report that. That is absolutely weird as shit. He knew exactly where I was to angle over a ledge to hit me on the other side of the fucking ledge. That guy is a 1-in-1 kitty. Like, we talk about weirdos, guys, and the weirdos that fucking end up in my game. That is an exact example of a weirdo. They never, like, they're almost never, you know, unless I get to the top of the scoreboard, they're almost never with a positive KD. Fucking weird shit. Like, in order to get the angle, guys, like, it had to have been a bot. In order to get the angle, that's like me being here. Not even that. Like, me aiming right here and hitting someone on the other side of the fucking roof at the air conditioner, knowing their exact location at the air conditioner to blow it up on the fucking air conditioner behind it.
Our forces have heavy armor cleared for combat.
Like, it's only something you could do if you had a wall hack, and even then, even if you had a wall hack, it'd be very difficult for you to know because of the angle is that. Like, he was down here. He hit me with the arc on the grenade launcher. He hit me right there.
Objective Charlie has been lost.
I don't, low incidence? What do you even call that shot? Where you basically have a very
Be advised, the enemy now controls more objectives.
small window. Right when I fucking lay down, the guy comes around the corner. I'm stuck in animation and I can't fucking do anything. Well, tonight's our last night of Battlefield 6 anyways, so... One of the ways you can actually get around this shit is by, like, let's say there's weirdos that fuck with me. Dude, where are my bullets going? There's no fucking way. I don't understand where all I just literally just dumped like 50 rounds into those guys. With pen rounds.
We've begun our assault on Charlie.
You got really bad, like what, a game ago? What? Someone else killed the guy on the ground? I kept shooting him because I didn't feel like I was killing him.
Our attack on Echo is underway.
Like, no one was interested in Battlefield 6, so they put the interns on it or something. They're looking directly at me through the wall, ready for me. You can tell he's looking at me through the wall because I couldn't see his laser. The green laser on. If he was looking and covering the doorway, we'd saw the laser. Christ.
Break the stalemate. Hostile forces will lock down their objective. We are moving on Delta.
There's no one there, guys, when I first looked. Went to lay down, and there's two guys there now.
We need attack support on the marked objective.
I mean, it wouldn't actually surprise me. It wouldn't actually surprise me. I don't know, I didn't just kill that guy just now. If there's a hidden value on the scope, where if you scope in with an actual scope, it takes longer. Intentional or unintentional, I'm not exactly sure.
Our forces have heavy armor cleared for combat. Our forces hold the majority of objectives. We're close to taking ground.
Okay. Yep, I just got shot through the roof by the automated turret. Nice! I laid down in time, guys. So many fucking weird bugs. Like no one really questions how a game company that has developed... Dude, what? That is a veteran with developing games for 3 decades. Game engines, not just the game itself. Game engine has so many weird ass fucking bugs. Like the whole game was vibe coded, and they can't fix them either. Ew. There's 2 I could have kept firing and probably killed them.
Delta.
So many weird things in the world, guys. There's more and more weird things. I wish I could actually see into shadows in this game. Hear sound, I can't see shit. Man, you just start firing at it? They intentionally do that, by the way, so you have problems with campers. Meds? I wish you could actually see who actually has meds. You can't. Sure. Just see who's a medic. That doesn't really help you.
All squads, light armored vehicles are ready for deployment. Attack support needed on the marked objective.
Nice.
Launched on Delta.
We have attack helicopters ready for combat. The enemy have taken more objectives.
Fucking nowhere, walking over to my position to kill me. Well, that might actually just be a legitimate stream sniper. A legitimate stream sniper. A normal stream sniper. They're too long.
Objective Echo neutralized. Our forces control more objectives than the enemy.
Move to attack the marked objective.
Knows! He fucking knows! Dude. Like I mentioned this before, guys, like the weird shit is, I noticed this earlier, like months ago, is when I chase down a tank, they start running away before they even notice that I'm there. Like they know they're in danger for some reason, and they just start running away. And I actually figured out how to deal with that because you gimp them by throwing an initial brick of C4 on them. To stop them from running, because it cripples them. Good. Like, their own voice comms the moment you shoot someone, everyone just turns and looks at you despite you're using a silencer.
Our forces are hitting Delta.
Across the map. That's another weird bug, by the way. Sometimes your motion sensor breaks even though it's there. It stops reporting information. Makes no sense.
Enemy attack confirmed in Echo.
Weirdo's using the same gun as me. You know how popular P9... I'd still like pointing out, guys, I use a shotgun for about a week solid where I just got a shotgun kick. And I've never fucking seen so many people use a shotgun in the game in my life. Almost no one uses a shotgun. Maybe you'll rarely see a shotgun. Maybe you'll die to one, maybe... I'll die to one now, because I pointed it out. But you'll see maybe one shotgun death per game. I die a lot, too. One shotgun death per game.
Be advised, Delta is under attack.
Apparently there's some sort of exploding thing there.
Hostiles now hold more objectives.
Amount of shots it's taking me today to kill people. Also, something I've noticed is after Season 2 launched, it takes a shitload more bullets to kill people on Europe. So with 100 MS ping, it takes more bullets, like the hero registration is worse. Even though it's supposed to be technically better. We used to do decently, like a 2-to-1 KD on Europe. Relatively frequently. There's a mannequin. Bro. Oh no, guys! Look, a 1-to-1 KD surprise. If I actually wanted to play more games right now, I'd change my username again. That seems to make a huge difference in getting weirdos off your fucking dick. That started maybe I'd say 3 games ago. Is when the weirdo squad started showing up. Yeah. And weirdly enough, they just seemingly find me all the time. They're just oddly always aware of me. But that's our last game of Battlefield 6, guys. Tonight we'll be playing World of Warcraft. I've talked about this before, guys, because it seems like online games are, like, competitive games are rigged, which I really enjoy competitive games because I enjoy dicking on people. It seems like everything's loaded against me at this point. Like, the other option is literally just playing PvE games or just, you know, indie games or single-player games. Never touching a multiplayer game ever, and that might actually be the best possible outcome. Is I've never really, I mean, I'll go on like a single player kick, but I'll only play it for like maybe a month, right? The longest I played, talking about more weird shit, guys, the longest I played a single player game, technically a co-op game, the longest I've ever streamed a co-op game was Helldivers 2. I played it for 9 months straight. I played that game for 9 months straight, and the weird thing was, initially it was very difficult, and what actually happened, the longer I played it, was it got easier. It got a lot fucking easier. The one thing I actually really applauded the game for, and I really enjoyed the game, was literally the difficulty of the game itself. I got really, really good at playing the game. And it seemed like the better I got, the worse, the easier they made the game, too. Like, they just kept nerfing everything, nerfing all the bugs, nerfing all the enemies. And I used to host my own lobbies. The game had a lot of problems launching. I hosted my own lobbies, and what eventually happened was I'd get weirdos in my game that I'm pretty sure were cheating, because I actually enjoyed the difficulty of the game. I'd get weirdos in my game that would clear the entire fucking map. They would join my lobbies and clear the entire fucking map. I couldn't do anything. They'd complete all the objectives. They'd pick up everything on the ground. I literally wouldn't do anything except pick up resources and then extract. You might go, oh, that's easy mode, right? Why wouldn't you want that? Because it was boring as fuck. It's like they realized the one thing I actually enjoyed in the game was the difficulty of the game itself, and then they just made it easier to the point at which the game wasn't fun anymore. I eventually quit because it was too easy. It wasn't enjoyable. I knew this was happening, so I stopped hosting my own lobbies and I'd join rando lobbies, and even the rando lobbies sometimes would just weirdly just get really, really fucking easy. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And even then, the game difficulty got a lot easier too. They just kept nerfing everything to the point at which it wasn't fun, because the fun part of the game was, it was like Dark Souls. The fun part was the difficulty of the game. They just nerfed it to the point at which it wasn't enjoyable to play anymore. Yeah. I remember that too. That was the longest I ever played it, and it was the opposite of PvP games, where in PvE I enjoyed it, but they weren't actually enemies, and I got really, really good at killing the actual bugs and robots in the game. Really good at it, and eventually it just, like, it got to the point where, like, it seemed like they were intentionally trying to make the game easier so I wouldn't enjoy it and I'd quit or something. I don't actually know. It was so fucking weird. This is the longest I ever played a PvE game, and I really enjoyed it early on, and it was very difficult, and it's very rewarding while playing it, and then eventually just got way too easy, and then I quit because it was too easy. Yeah, I don't know. And World of Warcraft, last time we played it too, I played it for a month and a half. Eventually in World of Warcraft, when you do keys, there wasn't really difficulty scaling. It just gets so ridiculously obnoxious that you can't really play the game anymore. Without doing some extremely cheesy strategies to actually, and being well organized, to accomplish missions like specific routing patterns and whatnot from mobs, which also just kind of made keys just kind of boring as fuck to play. But yeah, I've actually thought about being a single player server is one of the things I've considered, but like I find single player games relatively boring. They're all very easy or one dimensional. You have to have interactions with actual players to enjoy yourself, and they don't really have that. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. Like, I guess we're going to play World of Warcraft, which is technically, I'm not going to play PvP. Play World of Warcraft, which is PvE, but we aren't even really playing it to do, like, keys or anything, which are relatively, they get harder, right? Yeah. Very weird scenario, guys. Very weird life. Everything I've done in the last, it made sense early on, but like the last like 5 years or so, it keeps getting weirder and weirder, guys. And the most recent weird thing was the VPN I just talked about, which was yesterday. My VPN for the last year, I've used multiple VPN providers, and they all have the same problem, which is whenever I'd start Steam or Origin, it would take an inordinately long time to start it, like it was connecting to like 2000 ms server, right? It'd take an inordinately long time to connect to it. Even I use multiple VPNs; it's not just one. And it wasn't. The pings look normal in game. They look, what you'd expect. And on my Google ping, it would look what it's expecting to. But when I'd start the game, is contacting the initial servers too would take forever. Like the authorization server would take forever to connect to. When I start Steam, it'd be the same way. When I started Edge or Chrome, also the same problem. Like it's connecting to a 2000 ms server, right? So it's multiple servers, multiple services, and all exhibiting the same behavior except for the latency, the actual metric latency, which is my ping to Google, and my in-game latency all look normal. Despite, it doesn't feel normal, by the way. Like what we're just having right there, it feels like I'm delayed, like I'm reacting to people with the 300 ms ping or something, where they're reacting to me almost instantly. And my latency doesn't look fucked up either. And it's not just Europe, it also happens in NA, where I get these weirdos that just seem like I'm weirdly distinct from them. But the latency in the game looks fine, and my ping to Google looks fine. But why is the netcode not functioning in a way that is fine? I don't know. And the most recent one, like I said, was the VPN, which it had that problem. The moment I mentioned it on stream, about an hour later, it was fixed. I bet I can quit my game right now and restart it, and it'll take maybe, I don't know, it might take a little bit longer than normal, but with an expected latency for... Yeah, and my sync, also, when I quit the game, my sync to Steam would always time out. It'd take forever to upload the data to Steam, like it is really low bandwidth, and it would oftentimes time out. It just instantly finished the Steam cloud save. That's also fixed. Yeah, it also on Origin was the same way. When it was syncing the Steam cloud, the cloud data, when I exited Origin, it was the same way. It would take forever to sync it, like it was really low bandwidth. Despite my VPN not being low bandwidth, and my ping not being that high, it took forever to do it. Yeah, my Steam Cloud, that's another one. I just noticed that. When I exit the game, it's always timed out to the point at which I just literally just I would quit out of Steam because I didn't care if the Steam Cloud was fucked up. And it literally just instantly uploads the Steam Cloud data now. Normally what would happen when I played Origin, guys, is I'd have to sit here at the screen right now for roughly 4 minutes while it tries to log me in, and it'll error out, and this is still taking longer than if I was on a native connection, right? But it would legit, on Origin, I would sit here for 4 minutes while waiting for the thing to log in. That's a lot faster than it was prior to yesterday. It seems like it's actually really slow, but you have to understand that it actually takes a significant amount of time to get through that screen in the first place. On Origin, I never really showed you guys because I was always obfuscating, trying to hide stuff that I'm doing, so you can't actually, the weirdos don't fucking, figure out what I'm doing. But when I was playing with Origin, I would legitimately sit at the screen. And then not only that, on Origin, I'd sit at that screen, and it would sit there, and it would time out, and then I'd have to click it again, and it would take like 4 minutes to log into the actual game itself. And then something else I noticed was half the time my DLC would not properly register. Like, it would say I didn't have the games installed. Yeah. It would say that I didn't have the game content installed, which was really fucking weird. I'd have to restart the game multiple times to fix it. And now, it works, especially after I mentioned that yesterday, it works fine. Now it's gaslighting me. My Steam Cloud save is not... Yeah, I just got a cloud error trying to save the Steam Cloud. It's like it's fucking changing to what I'm doing right now. It just tried to upload my Steam Cloud, and it just errored out instead. It's not... By the way, it's not... It would take a really long time to upload. It wouldn't error out. It just instantly errored out. like it can't contact the Steam Cloud server. Oh, they can't even make the same behavior it had before when even trying to go, no, you're crazy. Oh, that's hilarious. Now it's doing something different, which is it just errors out and says that it can't actually upload the Steam Cloud. Prior to me just mentioned that, by the way, prior to me mentioning that, when I quit the game, it almost instantly uploaded the Steam Cloud save. Now it's erroring out, which never happened before, which is it just would upload really, really slow. And now it just errors out. Jesus Christ. You can fucking tell something's listening to my fucking stream and just reacting to it. That's insane. Yeah, it just gave me a Steam Cloud error. It doesn't do that. It does a Steam Cloud error after like waiting like minutes. It would occasionally give a Steam Cloud error. It would just take a really long time to upload. Like I had really low bandwidth. Who's fucking with who? The prisoner fucking with the gatekeepers, or the gatekeepers fucking with the prisoner? The jailers. Hilarious shit. And like this is kind of the stuff I've done this, guys, by the way. I noticed this because what you do is basically you make a honeypot, which is you set a trap and you see if things actually are influenced by things you talk about, and then see if it changes what you're talking about. So I can't directly influence what happens. I just know that stuff changes in reaction to things that I do. So if I talk about it on stream, and then it changes when I only like stream to like 20 people, and clearly VPNs, this should have absolutely nothing. Like a VPN provider would have to be watching me, but then it wouldn't happen to multiple VPN providers, right? It wouldn't happen to multiple look how fast I just logged in. It wouldn't happen to multiple VPN providers, and it would, if there's a problem with the VPN, it would manifest as latency, right, or low bandwidth, and it does neither, or packet loss. It does neither. But for some strange reason, it's like I have a 2000 ms ping, but I also don't have a 2000 ms ping. But it functioned like it, but it also in-game would say that I didn't have a 2000 ms ping, even though it kind of, sort of sometimes feels like I have a high latency. It's like trying to mask it. But then at the same time, when I mentioned it, it fixed itself. The issues fixed itself, right? I'm here watching my Steam upload and just give an error again. I can't fucking finish the Steam Cloud upload. But the error it used to pop took minutes for it to happen. Like I literally would like shut down my stream. I've been watching it here and just see that it still hadn't finished after I was finished with my stream and disconnecting stuff. And I was like, fuck it. And I literally just quit Steam out. I didn't care. Fucking hilarious shit. But what does it matter? I can't do anything about it. I just notice the shit's happening. I can't change anything. So. Alright guys, well, we're going to call things for this evening. This is our last stream of Battlefield 6. Tonight will be, I guess, World of Warcraft. We'll start leveling up through dungeons and through the game itself. Yeah. I guess. And I don't plan on doing keys. We're probably either, as I told Lid, maybe we'll play Deadlock, but we're either going to be playing Deadlock or Overwatch 2 after I'm done with that. We're going back to Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6, there's a lot, putting aside the weirdo shit, it's just gotten worse over time. So, yeah, that was a dead giveaway. The moment I just quit the game tonight, I literally just noticed the Steam save instantly finished. Not instantly, it took a little bit longer than if I was on my native connection. Like, you know, within reason, right? Like they have a local Steam server somewhere in the galaxy that I'd connect to. And now it just errors out. Like, whoopsie doodle, maybe you're wrong about that, you know? Maybe you didn't see that happen. But this error that just happens now, the last 2 times I quit out the game hasn't happened before. If it does do Steam Cloud error, it happens after a couple minutes, not within 30 seconds. So, that's also different. Oh my god. What is going on here, guys? What is the purpose of the simulation I am in? What is the experiment? Is it just prison theory? Prison planet theory? They're just extracting my negative energy? Kind of a dick move if that's the case. I'm not even getting paid for it. The fucking, oh god, the lettuce expiration conspiracy. That's a new one. That's pretty. It actually holds true, because getting produce and selling the produce is actually a big deal, because produce is expensive, right? So if you waste produce, it's actually just like eating away at your bottom line. So you'd actually find a way of recycling it, or making it so people are more likely to eat it, which is illegal. You can't change expiration dates, putting aside the fact that Walmart can't change it, doesn't have the means to change it on packages, and the manufacturer wouldn't actually change it. So I don't know, guys. Tonight's stream's just hilarious amount of conspiracy theory shit, guys. It was actually therapeutic talking about all this stuff. There's so much fucking weird shit that's going on right now, and my life makes it even weirder. This the weird thing right now with the VPN that I'm just even changing right now tonight as I'm talking about it. Just makes it even weirder. So, all right, tonight it's gonna be World of Warcraft, though, guys. It'll probably be, I don't know. Maybe it'll take me about a week to level up in World of Warcraft, because I play for a couple hours, right? So. We're going to level up. Maybe we'll do a couple Mythic Zeros and I guess call it, and then go back to Overwatch 2 or Deadlock. Alright, guys, we're done for this evening. If you're new to the stream and you enjoyed things, reach the follow button on your select platform. I stream to Kick, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, as well as TikTok every day. From late night to early morning, GMT-6, so late night North American time. You stream for about 3 to 4 hours, give or take, to what's going on in my life, what's happening, etc., guys. We're out of here. Tonight will be more of the BF6. Anyways, guys, tonight will be World of Warcraft. I was on autopilot. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching my streams always, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic Monday morning. Have a good day, guys. Everything is fucking weird.